next we have Danielle. Hello, Danielle.
Hello.
You excited for Warped Tour?
Yes, very.
What are you most excited for?
The music.
That's it?
Yep.
We can listen to the radio then.
I have a list. Do you want me to read off my list?
Of excitement?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear your list of excitement.
Okay. The bands I'm excited for are the Aquabats, Avril Lavigne, Bowling for Soup.
Slow down. Hold on. Is there anything else you want to tell us about these bands? Have you seen them before? Why you want to see them?
No.
Okay, just go through the list as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
No. No, I'll go through them and then I'll add some context. But going back, I think I said Bowling for Soup last. So I'll say the Cartel.
The Cartel, here we go again. Perfect.
For Your Strong, Heart Attack Man, Knuckle Puck, Koyo, Motion City Soundtrack, Census Fail, Simple Plan, State Champs, Sublime, We the Kings, and of course the Wonder Years. I've seen a lot of these bands already.
Okay.
But there are some like bigger ones that I've never seen, and I honestly never thought I'd have the chance to see like Avril Lavigne, Bowling for Soup, and then Simple Plan, of course. But a couple that I've seen multiple times already are For Your Strong, The Wonder Years, State Champs, Silverstein, Census Fail. But I am still so very excited to see them again. Oh, and Koyo. I've seen them, but they never get old. I just love them so much.
What band out of the lineup for tomorrow or the next day do you absolutely not want to see?
Oh, the entire lineup?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, there are just some that I don't know who they are at all, so I'm not super interested. But if there's one that I could avoid, I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't really want to see Origami Angel, but I do because I know some of their music.
It's kind of rude.
They're not my favorite, but I'll
Okay.
go watch them.
And do you have your cans of soup ready to go for tomorrow?
Yes, of course.
How many cans is it this year?
3 per person, which is kind of a lot.
And is it per day?
Yeah, I think so.
So you're saying there's a limit to how many cans of food you can supply to give somebody in need?
No, I think it's 3 plus.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But you're saying that's kind of a lot. I mean, people are hungry.
I know. No, that really sounds bad, but I mean, cans aren't cheap.
Food's expensive right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Was there anything else about Warped Tour you're excited for or looking forward to?
Wait, I need to rewind.
Okay,
You could do
rewind.
3 cans or $5.
Or $5. Okay.
Okay, so yeah. Anything else I'm excited for? Yeah, I think like the memorabilia. I think it'll be fun to get some merch. The Warped Tour CD, which I'm very excited for, actually, because
Okay.
that's how I discovered music.
Yeah.
A lot of the times were like from the compilation CDs that they would release after Warped Tour.
Okay, can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
So when you get that CD, where are you going to play it?
You know what? I'm going to take the CD and I'm going to store it somewhere. And then I'm going to find that same soundtrack on Spotify and listen to it there.
Okay. And then out of all the bands that you're excited to see, if you could only pick one to buy merch from, who would it be?
Ooh, very good question. Honestly, whoever has the best merch. I don't think it really matters.
Who's going to have the best merch? What's your guess?
I really like Koyo's merch.
Okay.
So I would get a t-shirt from them. And I do love them, but I mean, is it good quality? Does the t-shirt wear well? It's going to wash well.
Yeah, there's so many things for a woman to decide when buying a shirt. And, you know, guy goes, that's sick. Can I get that one? Or
Yeah,
they go,
it's true.
oh, it's $40 for a shirt. Nah, I'll pass.
Yeah, it's true. But the CD is going to be $5. So I'm
Nice.
hoping
Yeah.
the merch will follow that same trend and not be too
They're
crazy.
not going to follow the same trend.
I know. I am excited. Actually, I don't know if I read them off of Pennywise. I'm very excited to see Pennywise.
What's your favorite Pennywise song?
Bro Him,
Okay.
of course.
Classic.
Yeah. That's honestly the only one I could think of. But yeah, they were one that when they were announced, I was like, well, I don't really know Pennywise, don't really care. And then I've kind of like dove into them a little more and heard more about them. And so now I'm definitely more excited to see them.
And then you just listened to a podcast that talked about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What podcast was that?
It was the One Life, One Chance podcast.
Uh-huh.
and he was talking with Mark Hoppus about them, and they were talking about like there are some bands that have to play certain songs because they're fan favorites, and they were talking about how Pennywise will always end with Bro Hymn. And so when I heard that, I was like, okay, I should probably study that one. Yeah. If I know for sure.
So you studied up, you're ready to go for it now?
Well, I listened to it like a couple times, yeah.
And now, last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think the lines for the bathroom will be all day tomorrow?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I need to plan for that.
I
like give myself like 45 minutes.
I think I might need to go to the bathroom soon, so I'm going to go stay in the line, guys. See you in a little bit.
But they probably will take a long time. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else you want to add?
Anything else you want to ask?
No, that's it. I've asked many questions.
I don't know. I think there are some that I'm not like, I need to see them, but it would be fun to see them, kind of like on a would be fun list.
Yeah.
And that's like MGK, Young Gravy.
Yeah, do you want to go back through the list and tell us any more that you would potentially see?
303. That would be fun.
No, wouldn't.
They're two old guys screaming about...
With one song.
Whatever. They have more than one.
No, they don't.
I know. I really think their set would be like 10 minutes. I think that's about it, though. I honestly don't really know what to expect. I went to Warped Tour in 2015, but I really feel like this is going to be very different.
It's going to be a little different, yeah.
It's going to be some rain, and that's okay.
I'm really looking forward to us getting back together afterwards to talk about what we liked or didn't expect or what they kept the same.
What happened.
Yeah.
Who got hurt. Who hurt who.
It's going to be you.
It better not be me.
Getting hurt and doing the hurting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm very excited.
All right. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. Should we stop or do you want to just go into it?
Let's go into it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear your list.
What list?
Blair, who are you excited for? First, tell us. You're here in D.C. Why are you here in D.C.?
For Warped Tour.
What is Warped Tour?
It's a concert outside.
One concert?
Yeah.
How long does it last?
2 days now.
So 48 hours?
Yeah, 48 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Must be a lot of bands.
Used to be 1 day. Now it's 2 days.
That is, yeah.
Used to be like 50 cities. Now it's like 3 cities.
Yeah.
They've changed it up.
Do you think this is a trial run? Will they add more cities?
I do think it's a trial run.
For next year?
Yeah.
I hope so. And I hope that it's like more bigger bands. Well, bands that I like, specifically.
Yeah. It just doesn't matter how good or not. It's just if Danielle likes them.
Yeah. I hope they reach out and like ask.
Call
hey,
Kevin
who
Lyman.
do you want to see? Yeah.
Say, hey, I'll be your consultant for what bands you should get.
Okay, I want to hear your list. Who are you excited to see?
I'm gonna say this real quick. We recorded Christian's pre-Warped Tour intro before we left for the Phillies game. It is now after the Phillies game. It's 1:12 a.m. Danielle's gonna get up at 6 a.m. to get ready for Warped Tour. We're gonna leave by 8:30 a.m. So we're a little tired.
Yeah, I'm great.
A little worn out.
Yeah.
I got about an hour and a half of sleep on the red-eye flight that I took out here. Came back and slept for about another hour and a half yesterday. At least last night I got some good sleep. But then Andrea didn't get good sleep because she was doing the same flight thing as me. So we're going to be worn out. It's going to be fun. But yeah, I'll go through my list.
Wait, how do you feel right now? Let's get a vibe check. Tired.
Is that my options? Just tired?
Tired. Do you feel good? Do you feel full of energy, full of life? Exhausted?
I've never felt any of those feelings you were describing. So anyways, for the bands, I know that feeling. Do you want me to talk more about that one?
No, we'll save that for another podcast.
Okay. So yeah, they have it lined up as alphabetical order. So there's 3 and 4 because numbers come before letters. So the 3 option is 303, hard pass, no thank you. For the 4 option is 408, which I just heard some of their music very recently, and I would watch them. Give it a chance. All Time Low, definitely gonna watch them. Angel Dust, that'd be a lot of fun. Aquabats, classic, gotta see them. Going down, Avril Lavigne, how fun, gotta see Avril Lavigne. Going down, big ass truck with Christian would be fun. We listened to some of the music today. They're heavy. That's gonna be scary. Bowling for Sloop, gotta see them. Then we go down, Carpool. We did Carpool today, so I think that counts. Chiodos, definitely have to see them. Comeback Kid would be really cool to see. I've seen them once, long time ago. And then Drain, definitely would like to see them. They'll probably get really hurt. Escape the Fate, I mean, maybe. Fever 333, seeing Jason Butler would be great. 4 Year Strong, have to see them. I don't care who's going on, have to see 4 Year Strong.
Totally.
And then, I think I've heard one Girlfriend song, so I'll go listen to that one song. Hawthorne Heights. Has anybody said Hawthorne Heights yet? Is everybody skipping them? I'm not going to be alone.
I'm actually surprised. No, they're definitely on my list.
Okay. Heart Attack Man, very high on the list.
Yeah.
And then Jacob's Castle, I'd really like to see them, which I didn't know until today that he has another band other than Sublime that's going to be there. Keep going down alphabetical order. Knuckle Puck, yes. Koyo, very much yes. Lady Gang, is that Lady Gaga's daughter or something?
It's her cousin.
Okay. I haven't heard of her, so maybe we can check her out. That's cool that list and Jake's on, but, just a maybe for me. Let Live is a definite. Magnolia Park would be a maybe. The main would be, I'll go do anything else. Same with Mayday Parade.
You can wait in the bathroom line.
Yeah. Just, that's a good time to take a break. I would watch MGK. Motion City Soundtrack, definitely would love to see them. I've only seen them once, so it'd be good to see them. Nothing Nowhere, I think, would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them once. Him, them, whatever they go by. Opened for Senses Fail a long time ago. That was pretty cool. Origami Angel, absolutely have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
you
don't agree with me.
I'm saying I know you do.
You said you don't care about them. Point North, would be kind of cool. Red Jumpsuit Apparatus would be just a maybe, but I think a lot of these maybes will be playing at times when nobody else is playing, so I'll definitely go see them. Seosin would be really cool. I've never seen Seosin, so it'd be really cool. Saturdays at Your Place would be fun to see. Scary Kids Scaring Kids, definitely want to see them. Only seen them once, and that was in 2008, so it's been a few years. Scowl, saw them just a couple of months ago, and they killed it, so that'd be really fun to see them again. Senses Fail might be the band I've seen the most live because they've played at Warped Tour so many times, but would love to see them again. They're always fun to see. Silly Goose would be really fun to see. I think they're going to put on a good show.
Yeah.
Silverstein I have on my list, but that's definitely still just a maybe band. Seen them several times, so I could give up seeing them to see somebody else. Simple Plan, never seen them, so that'd be really fun to see them. State Champs was on my maybe list. Streetlight Manifesto's on the maybe list. Sublime, definitely gotta see them. Never seen Sublime before. Sweet Pill would be maybe. We the Kings, I think they only have one song as well, right? So they should play that one.
No. They have quite a few good ones.
Okay, name them.
Dear Marie, no.
That's all time low.
Okay, let's start with what you know.
You're the ones that have the multiple songs.
No, they do. They do.
Okay, anyways. Next band is going to be The Wonder Years. Have to see them. Unless they're playing just all new stuff, then they're just a maybe. So yeah, that's my list. Is there any other questions you have for me, Danielle?
No, I do want to tell you, though. They have Check Yes Juliet.
You don't get to tell me. I said, do you want to ask me anything?
Skyway Avenue.
Never heard of it.
They have Say You Like Me, Secret Valentine. There's so many We the Kings.
Those are all their songs?
No, they have more, but those are...
So they have 4 songs?
The hits.
I've only heard one of them.
The hits. Okay.
But I would watch that one song.
The one song. Who are you most excited to see?
I think by me saying 4 Year Strong's an absolute must. Wonder Years is great. Senses Fail. Scary Kids, I said, must. Origami Angel, never seen them. That's a must for sure. Let Live. Anything Jason Butler's doing, I have to watch because he's one of the best performers I've ever seen. Koyo, very high on the list. Knuckle Puck, high on the list. Heart Attack Man, definitely high on the list. Never seen them yet.
Yeah. Give me top 2.
4 Year Strong. And Bowling for Soup, because I've never seen them.
Now, what if they were playing at the same time? What would you do?
Well, I've never seen Bowling for Soup, so I'd go see them.
Okay. Would you try to catch half of one, half the other?
No, I don't want to do the half-seas.
I agree.
Because you're going to miss time running to and from. I did do that, though, last time I left Real Friends to go see 4 Year Strong.
Oh, was it worth it?
Yeah, because I got to see some of both. Plus, Real Friends was having a hard time with their guitar. And so actually, I'm gonna take that back. It was Knuckle Puck playing, and I'd seen them both, but the guitarist / backup vocalist of Knuckle Puck was having a hard time, and then so Dan from Real Friends was on stage with them, like just watching him, and so because the guitarist was having such a hard time and he wasn't doing his vocal parts, Dan just came out and like grabbed his microphone. So like, that was cool. Like that's really fun that those guys are friends, and like he knew the part, so he just stepped up and at least kind of helped the guy out. So that was fun to see though, that for a minute.
That's awesome. That'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, if we would have done this earlier, maybe I would have had a little bit more excitement and enthusiasm, but it's time for bed. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I have a few more questions.
Okay, let's hear them.
You got the juice? Can you do it? The energy? No. What I'm gonna ask. What else are you excited for? Anything else?
Music. I'm excited for music.
What about, have you seen any like merch that has been listed that you're like, oh, I have my eye out for that?
Yeah, you guys showed me some merch earlier. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not trying to be difficult. I know you think I'm trying to be difficult.
No.
I'm not trying to be difficult. I didn't look at merch until today, so.
Yeah, I get that. That's good.
Mike did text me today and say, hey, if I send you some money, can you get me a Knuckle Puck or Wonder Years or maybe 4 Years Strong?
No,
He had
that's
3
good.
bands on his list. And so
That's good.
I said, if you can see something, look it up, let me know. But I don't want to go spend all day waiting in line for merch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Just rather just take it all in, just watch the music, see the bands, hear the hits.
Yeah.
What's your other questions you have for me?
That's what I want. I want the hits.
Let me take a second real quick. I had my first official Philly cheesesteak today. 2 of them. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your first ever?
Well, in Philadelphia is what I mean.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've had other ones, but I mean, yeah.
What made it so special?
It's from Philadelphia. The cheese. Holy cow,
Yeah.
the cheese was good. There was a place, I grew up in Colorado Springs, there was a place, I think it was called Taste of Philly. They made a really good Philly cheesesteak.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe they're from Philly.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They were delectable.
Oh, good to know. Well, good.
Any other questions?
Anything else you liked about Philly?
Yeah, we got a new baseball park for me, so thank you everybody for supporting me in my baseball addiction. There's Lily. She's barking at everybody at 1:21 a.m. Good puppy. Yeah. Attack. Yeah. Get that turtle. Yeah. Too bad we didn't have more time to spend in the city, but the new ballpark was great.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It's fun. Yeah.
You're checking a lot of things off the list.
Yeah.
Ballpark, new bands you've never seen.
Yeah, you guys always help me out with that, so thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad. That's good. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay.
We're going to have a lot more to talk about after the fact.
We are. I'm excited.
And I mean, people are going to listen to us right now and be like, oh, wow, they're exhausted. Give us 2 days. We're going to come back in 2 days and talk about everything that we experienced. We're going to sound really dead then.
We're going to have so much to cover. I'm so excited.
Me too.
It's going to be great.
Okay, anything else?
Nope.
All right, everybody. We'll see you in 2 days.
Bye.
All right. We are back with Danielle. Hello, Danielle.
Guess who's back? Hi.
Back again. All right. Tell me, how was Warped Tour for you?
It's really good. I'm honestly really sad it's over, but I had a really good time.
Okay. Thanks for that. And that's all the time we have. So moving on.
Okay. Bye.
Just kidding. Where do you want to start? Day 1, overall experience.
Yeah.
Favorite merch.
I will comment on the merch. I thought I would be way more into the like merch and stopping at everything and looking at it more than I was, but I was just so distracted by the music and like getting from place to place. I barely even spent time looking at merch.
Okay.
Which is surprising.
That's all you wanted to say? That you didn't care to look for it?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying I was so
distracted. Did you see any good merch? The little bit that you did see?
Yes, there was good merch, but I thought that I would be way more like into it. And they did have good stuff. Anyways, that's not even what we're talking about. It's not even important. We can start with day 1.
Okay, start with day 1. Actually, I have a question for you before we go into that, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who had the higher bowling score tonight?
Who won 2 games?
Can you answer my question first?
Of 4.
Can you answer my question first?
You had the highest score in 1 game, so you did win that game.
What was the score?
182.
And I'm wearing a blank shirt. How perfect is that? Okay, moving on. Day 1, Warped Tour. Go ahead.
Who won 2 games? Me. Out of 4.
Yeah, she did win a game. And then
How
she
many
won
Did you win?
when she was playing right-handed and I was bowling left-handed. So, yeah, good job.
That's a lie. I saw
That's
your right hand.
not a lie.
Okay, what do you want to know about day one?
The whole thing. Tell me about it.
Okay. I don't want to walk through it too much and like string it out and make it too like
You're stringing it out right now.
I don't know.
Just get to it. Tell me what you want to tell me. Let's hear it.
Okay, well we got there.
That's the beginning.
Yeah.
We got there.
It was just okay, to be honest, a lot happened. It was a long weekend. It was really great. So I'll start from the beginning. It's just daunting to think about like explaining it all, but it was so fun. We started off with seeing the band Slideways, which was just I think they won like a battle of the bands, right? And they were able to perform because of it.
Yeah.
And then after Slideways, that's when the party got started. We saw Origami Angel, and I actually I don't mind Origami Angel. They're good, but I'm just like not really into their music. It's a little more poppy, a little more like electronic, and they just use more sounds than I'm used to. But seeing them live, I thought I like them better live than I do like listening to them on Spotify.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
I think it's a good point. I think sometimes to understand a band, you got to see them live.
Yeah.
Because they can't always capture it.
Yeah. Which leads me to the next band we saw, Drain.
Drain, yeah.
We saw Drain.
Another
and
one. Perfect example.
Exactly. I walked up to Drain just thinking like, oh, I'll go with you guys. You guys want to see them? I'll sit through it. It's fun. Like, we're here. But I actually fell in love with them. I thought they were so fun. It was funny because that was the third band of the day. And I remember in the middle of the day, there were signs everywhere saying like, no moshing, no crowd surfing. Because if we get sued, we have to stop doing this. And so I was like, oh, okay, so that's not going to be happening here, which is kind of surprising. And then all of a sudden, this guy from Drain is like telling people, mosh, push each other over. Like, he was in the crowd going crazy. I was cracking up the way that he was trying to rile everyone up. And that made me love him because he was just so wild. And then, yeah, they had a really great performance. But then honestly, I listened to Drain today on Spotify and I was like,
here's the truth.
Oh, still not my cup of tea, but they were still so fun. They were so fun to see.
Again, I think it's cool because sometimes it's just fun to see bands live.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So after Drain, I got to see your favorite band. And I'm sorry you weren't there. Mayday Parade.
I'm not sorry I wasn't there at all. I'm glad you got to go and enjoy it though.
Yeah, they were good. It was really busy. But they were fun. I mean, I was expecting a little more hits, but they played like 2 hits, and so I was happy. It was fine.
Yeah.
They're also not my favorite.
All right, so tell me about Mayday Parade.
I went to Mayday Parade with Andrea, and we walked up, and it was so busy. There were way more people than I even thought knew about Mayday Parade, but I guess they're a pretty big band. So we went and watched them for a little bit. They were good. I wish they had played more hits, but what we saw was good.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so you can tell me anything else you want to tell me.
I know.
Other than it's good.
I'm sorry you weren't there, and I love them.
And then what happened after that? Tell me.
After Mayday Parade, I watched a little bit of the band Atmosphere.
Okay.
We were at the front because our friend Andrea wanted to wait for Machine Gun Kelly. And so I was just there with her, and I was like, oh, I'll watch a little bit of Atmosphere. I don't know who they are. And I wasn't expecting it, but they just started like breaking out into this rap song. And he's a rapper. He's really good. He was
cool.
Great. It was fun. And then I left there to go meet you guys at Let Live. And when I got to Let Live, I was like, I went into the crowd and I walked to one side of the stage and then I walked to the other side. And then I was like, oh, I don't see them anywhere. So I turned around and started to leave. And then when I like looked back towards the stage, everyone was looking at me. And I was like, oh, what's going on? Why is everyone looking at me? And they were like pointing up. And then I looked up and Jason Butler. Jason Butler. I was going to say Jason Bateman. Jason Butler was climbing.
Jason Bateman's just climbing a tower.
Jason was climbing this tower shirtless. It was so funny. And I was like right under him. And yeah, I texted you guys, I'm right under Jason. And then you came and found me.
Found you right away. That's an easy landmark.
Yeah, that was really cool. He's crazy. I was expecting it. I knew that would come up at some point.
For sure.
I love it. He always gives such a good performance. But it was funny to see him at the top, like waving at people from across the fields, like across the fairgrounds, just communicating with them from the top. And I even heard like one of the security guards at the bottom look up at him and say like, "What are you gonna do now? Like, what are you gonna do?"
He's a seasoned professional. He's been up there before.
He is, yeah. Maybe banned now. I think he's banned from like multiple places.
He's banned from a country.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I kind of remember you talking about that. Yeah, after Let Live, we went towards Chiodos. They were playing like across the way. So we walked over to Chiodos, watched them. I do remember the bass being crazy on that one. That
Insane.
Yeah. At that point too, it was like midday. It was so hot outside. I was feeling very humid. I mean, I was so hungry. That was tough. I just think back at that and I was like, oh my gosh. That was like the point where you just like gotta take a deep breath. It's worth it. It's fun. It'll be fun. And then it got better from there. But Chiodos was great. We stayed and watched their whole set. And then after Chiodos, we walked towards State Champs. And that was another one that was crazy crowded.
Yeah, insanely crowded.
The sound was all over the place.
It was overflowing into the food section.
Yeah.
The crowd.
So what did we do?
Got some food.
We got some fries.
Sat down. Enjoyed.
It was nice. It was kind of perfect. If I hadn't seen State Champs before, I probably would have wanted to get closer. But I've seen them, so
agreed.
It was just fun to like
just
listen.
Sat there, listen, enjoy.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Little break.
Yeah. After State Champs, we went and found Christian at this band called Big Ass Truck, which is a crazy band name.
For a crazy band.
Yeah, their album art it's Big Ass Truck.
Yep.
So funny. So we went and found Christian. He was with some friends. We stayed and watched theirs. I feel like day one was a lot of like sitting around and watching bands I don't really know, but
okay.
I had heard a couple times. And I don't mind that, but at the same time, I think you'll hear, like, I have a bias towards day two because those were, like, all my favorite bands.
Yeah.
So day one was still fun, but it was a lot of, like,
but is it worth it for you to go to some place that you don't know music and check out new bands?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, good.
I think so. Because like with Drain, I didn't think I would like them at all, and I ended up loving them.
Yeah.
And so I would totally go see them live again. I don't know if I'd listen to them in the car, but I'd see them. Or I'd, like, watch an interview from the guy, because he was just really funny. Yeah, it was cool.
He's got a big personality.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Which I think is fun, especially if you're given the 11 a.m. slot at Warped Tour. Like, you got to do something.
It wasn't that early, but he had pretty early in the day.
12. And the sun was up. But I think the beginning of the day of Warped Tour is tough for a lot of bands because, like, everyone's still figuring things out, like waking up, so to say. Yeah. After that truck band.
That truck, them trucker boys.
We were working our way towards Census Fail, and 303 was up. So we listened to a little bit of 303. And then, which was actually kind of cool. I had, like, seen videos of them performing, which is crazy. I did not know that they still did music. And then to see them be added to Warped Tour, I was actually kind of excited to just lay eyes on them.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to do. And we listened to one of their hits. I can't remember which one.
They only have one song.
Just one.
Yep.
Yeah, after, I think we parted ways at 303.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You still worn out from the weekend?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's all right.
Can you tell?
Just a little bit.
Why?
It was a long weekend. We were
Yeah.
exhausted. I was extremely exhausted day one. Day two.
Yeah.
I was sore.
Yeah.
I was exhausted. I've never thrown so many people in my life. Day two.
Yeah, you did.
Holy cow. I don't know what it is about me, but people are like, hey, throw me in the crowd.
Yeah, I know.
People see me. I'm scrawny. Why do you want me to throw you?
You're tall.
There's buff dudes there. They can throw you, no problem. Yeah, we're worn out. We had a good relaxing day, though, yesterday.
That was good. Yeah.
I think you're just mad because I got a higher score at bowling than you did.
No.
I think that's what the issue is.
You can get a higher score
Okay,
than
let's
me.
talk more about Warped Tour. You saw some bands. You don't have to tell us everyone if you don't want to, but
change the subject.
tell us more about day one.
Day one was good. I saw a lot of bands I love. Honestly, there aren't many more to talk about for day one. Besides
Yes, there is.
the highlights.
Yeah, let's hear the highlights.
Cartel,
Okay.
who I loved.
The Cartel.
The Cartel.
How did I do in my performance?
Really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I know I told you this before, but you really do look like the lead singer of The Cartel. You absolutely do.
Any taller person with glasses apparently is what I look like.
Everyone thinks it. You're not the only one. I'm not the only one, as I meant to say. The Cartel's fantastic. Koyo.
Back to The Cartel again.
Koyo was fantastic. I love Koyo. I was so excited to see them. They give such a good performance. And you got kicked in the head from our friend.
New friend, yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah. Send you my hospital bill later.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Christian mentions it, but she was crowd surfing and I didn't know anyone was coming, and all of a sudden someone was crowd surfing and had come towards you and kicked you, and then her hand just went flying at your hat and she like kind of grabbed it. So I was like, "Oh, that's not yours." It's like grabbed it really quick, and then she looked at me and she was like, "Hi." I was like, "Oh my gosh." She was wild. She was telling me earlier in the day that she hadn't crowd surfed since she was like 13, and so
was that like 3 years ago?
Took the opportunity.
Just
no.
She's pretty young though. She makes it sound like she's old. She's young.
Yeah, she is. She is. It was really fun. I'm glad that we met up with them. They made it a great night too. And then after Koyo, right next to that stage, Scary Kids got on, which was cool to see because I don't know any of their music, and to be honest, I know one song.
Yeah.
I know one of their biggest hits, but besides that, like, I haven't listened to them. I really don't, but I know how iconic they are. So it was cool to sit there and like see them perform, and people love them.
Chiodos and Scary Kids is a band that Christian and I have tried pushing on you, and you just never. You're like, nope.
Yeah.
How were they live? Both of those bands, though. How were they live?
Wonderful.
Scary Kids, we gotta experience more though, because we were closer. We were there with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Chiodos, we were there in the crowd, but it felt like we were really far away because we got really lucky and good at getting up front. So when we came to a band late and had to sit in the back, it seemed to me like we were miles away.
Yeah, it did. They had a massive crowd. So many people wanted to see them, which is great for them. But yeah, it definitely felt far away. But I even told you in the middle of the performance, they're so good.
Yeah.
Everything.
You liked them, huh?
Yeah, like even like what they were giving us versus what you hear recorded, it's the same. It's really good. Which I really appreciate because I also saw Census Fail that day, and I am a big Census Fail gal, and he just wasn't giving. It really wasn't.
Just a little off day.
Yeah.
We'll have him.
Yeah, I mean, I would still see him again. Like, I kind of regret seeing him over. Who did I skip to see Census
Sublime.
Fail? I regret that.
Yeah.
Especially because I had seen him before. But it was fun. I really love seeing songs I know. I think like everyone, because you can sing along. It's more enjoyable. But yeah. But after Census Fail, the stage right next to it was the Cartel. So
The Cartel.
that was fun.
Back to the Cartel. We never know where we're going to get with you. It's the Cartel, the Cartel.
Keep you on your toes.
Okay. Is that it for day one?
Yeah, that's about it.
All right. So got Taco Bell, bedtime, back at it for day two.
Mm-hmm.
So we woke up bright and early for day two.
Mm-hmm. New outfit, new day.
Perfect. That's going to be the episode title.
Yeah, let me just say, that was a tough wake-up call. I was so excited, of course, but oh my gosh, was I exhausted.
Was it you that said we should have a break in between, a day break?
Yeah, I think so.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
We could have used that.
Yeah, or even if they like start it later and end it later, that would have been great too. I don't know. Still fun. Still really great. I think I do still like 2 days over 1 day just because it's more to enjoy.
Yeah.
But I also do appreciate 1 day because then you just go hard for 1 day and then it's done.
Definitely.
But yeah, day two. Day two started out with a band called Carpool, who I had never heard of. I'd never heard any of their stuff. Is that what your notes say, Carpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is your experience. Don't get mad at me. Like, we didn't see the whole thing together. I mean, we saw a good chunk of it, but...
Yeah, Carpool's good. The one song I did hear was really good.
And we carpooled on the way there.
We did.
So bonus points for us.
Carpool to Carpool. Yeah, after Carpool, we just turned to the right, and then there was a band called Urethane playing.
Yep.
It's an interesting name. They were also really good. They were good. You seem to like them.
I loved them. It was a lot of fun to see them.
Good. After Urethane, we ran over to Heart Attack Man. They were a band. That was a band I was really excited to see. They were fantastic. And I think it was choosing between Heart Attack Man and another one that I really love. I can't remember what it was, but I'm glad I chose Heart Attack Man. It was great. They played the hits. They played a lot of stuff that I didn't know and that I did know. And I liked them. Did you like them?
Oh, I had a blast.
Yeah.
I think it was Knuckle Puck that you missed, right? See Heart Attack Man?
Yes, I did miss Knuckle Puck. And I was okay with that because I had seen them before.
Yeah, was it worth it?
Yeah. Yeah. Just kidding, yeah.
That's fine. You can tell me the truth.
It was good. I liked it a lot. I've seen Knuckle Puck so many times. Honestly, I think next to the story so far, Knuckle Puck is the one I've seen the most.
Yeah.
So I was happy to add another one to my list. And I've been like really getting into Heart Attack Man, especially in the last 6 months. So that was good to kind of close that circle.
Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast yet, but you, me, and Christian, we have an album review document where one of us will pick an album, we'll all listen to it, and then just give, usually it's just a paragraph, nothing super in depth. For me, it's just always relating bands to like, oh, it sounds like this other band that I like. We give it a little rating out of 10. And so was that your introduction to Heart Attack Man, is when their new album came out recently?
No, I had
Okay.
known of them before, but I never really got into them. I had only known a handful of songs, and that was it.
It's a fun thing for us to do because we listen to the whole album. I pay attention more because I'm like, oh, I need to give some insight other than like, oh, I like it, it's good.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we do that, and it makes us appreciate music a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a book club.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I'm glad that we do that. It's fun.
Okay, so Heart Attack Man, and then
We the Kings. We ran over to We the Kings.
We the Kings. There was not a king there. There's been some protests though about him, so
You weren't a fan, huh?
no, it was okay. It was just kind of weird, but it was fine.
Yeah.
It was cool to see Check Yes Juliet, and I like that we were on the Wonder Years crowd side, so there's a little pit going on over there
Yeah.
on the opposite side, which is funny, but
Yeah, I appreciate like listening to music I know while waiting for my favorite band.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of worked out for me. And I don't think I've ever seen We the Kings, so it was fun to see them. And
I think I've seen Check Yes Juliet at Warped Tour one other time. I think that was it.
yeah. You got a signed poster from them, didn't you?
I did.
Where'd you get that?
From them at the Warped Tour.
Oh, at a Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I knew
And I gave it to somebody. I think they threw it away or something.
they did not throw it away.
Pretty sure they did.
No, it's in storage. That person is me.
Storage. The landfill. It's being stored at the landfill currently.
I would never throw it away. It's not thrown away. I know exactly where it is. Anyways, for We the Kings.
It's in its anaerobic decomposition state right now.
For We the Kings.
Just say it already. I know what you're waiting for. Just talk about We the Kings already. Everybody wants to hear it. What do you have to say about We the Kings?
Their bassist, you know?
Sexy.
Charles Trippy.
I have no idea what his name is.
I know you don't. Anyways.
I know the other guy's Travis because I said it a couple times because he came on stage for a few other bands.
Yeah, lead singer is Travis.
Yeah.
But Charles Trippy, who's the bassist.
Charles Trippy.
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
He's a huge YouTuber.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
And I had watched him a bit when in like 2012, 2013. Like one of the original YouTubers.
Nice.
And so it was cool to see him up there. Just because I knew he was in We the Kings. And
that's cool.
To like tie it back to what I had seen back then. Yeah.
I mean, YouTube's cool and all, but do any of them have OnlyFans? Because that's what I'll check out.
I don't know. You have to look.
Tyson from All American Rejects does, so it's
Perfect
worth
for you.
yeah. You got time, check it out. Anyways,
We the Kings was fun. I think they were just trying to be a little too interactive, like telling people bend down, and then when I count to this, everyone pops up and gives spirit fingers.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was a bit much, but I think it was just like, what are we doing? Can we just play music?
Yeah.
We don't need to be talking and listening to all this.
I do feel like some bands stalled quite a bit when they had such a short set.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
why are you talking?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's one thing I really appreciate about Heart Attack Man. They said some stuff, but it was song, go.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. I agree.
We the Kings rolled over. Were you done with them? Travis Trippy,
Wait.
Charles Trippy. What
I
was
said
his name?
bend down. I meant squat down.
Yeah.
Everyone squat down.
Yeah, good save.
And
Let's go back to that. We the Kings told everybody to bend down.
Squat down.
The titles are flowing now,
Pop up.
like an inflatable dance man. Yep.
Just
Now
need to
she's
fix
awake.
that real quick. I mean, I don't have much to say about We the Kings. It was good. It was fun to see them live. It was fun to see Check Yes Juliet, you know, the hits. And especially being followed up by the Wonder Years, who I love so much. And we got to get really close to the front for that one. It played all the songs I love, open with the song I love, close with the song I love. There was a little bit of a medical emergency. I can't say that.
A little incident.
Yeah, a bit of an incident during one of the songs that they actually didn't finish. I just realized that.
Yeah, they never went back to it, but kind of how could you?
Yeah, and honestly, I think that ate up like a good 7-8 minutes, which is like 2 songs worth of content. Like that's
yeah.
But I'm glad he's okay. I heard he's okay. That's
as far as we know, for sure. I mean, it's really cool. Like I kind of dogged on it, but it is really cool that they stopped to make sure somebody was okay. Like I respect that. That's really cool of them. Because you know, some bands it's just like, oh, someone's hurt, put them aside, you know, move on, whatever. But especially Warped Tour, like that's a big place where people are looking out for each other.
Yeah, definitely. I saw that a lot too throughout different crowds that we were in. People were just helping each other up constantly and like asking, "Are you okay? Can I do anything for you?" Which is really sweet.
Yeah, it's chaos, it's madness.
Yeah.
And some people do end up getting really frustrated because it's hard not to get frustrated. You're out in the heat. You're surrounded by people, which nobody likes to be surrounded by people. There's no room. You feel claustrophobic. But for the most part, people are really looking out for everybody else. Like people drop phones, people dropped, you know, whatever else they had, and people are always grabbing it, chasing the person down. Here you go. People making sure, you know, others had water. Like it's a good community. It was fun.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think I can get a little frustrated with crowd surfers, especially when I don't know if they're coming up from behind me.
For sure.
But I get it. It's fun for them. It's good.
And that's the other thing too, is that people look out for other people, is tapping somebody on the shoulder, like, hey, turn around.
Yeah.
Because when I don't get tapped on the shoulder and I get kicked in the head, that hurts.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they're just launched on top of you.
So I do appreciate when people say, hey, turn around, someone's coming.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm glad Dan Campbell in the Wonder Years stopped. He was paying attention. He looked. He said everyone stop.
Yep.
Because, yeah, I mean, it's easy just to be in the zone and keep going. So that was cool of him.
I do want to say this because I think I'm funny. The Wonder Years has a pigeon logo, Hank the Pigeon. It's on some of their shirts and whatever. And when we were watching the set, I had an idea that the Wonder Years should do an 80s cover band. And it should be called, instead of a flock of seagulls, a flock of pigeons. I just want to throw that out there for everybody. Please let me know if that's a good idea or if I'm just stupid. Thank you. Moving on.
I'll vote good idea. You have one.
Thank you. Well, yeah, you love pigeons, so anything with pigeons, you're going to vote yes for.
They're interesting.
Danielle's favorite shirt of Warped Tour was some lady had a shirt that said something about pigeons, and it just had one pigeon on it. She's like, did you see that shirt? It's the funniest shirt I've ever seen. She doesn't even know what it says. She just loves it. So random pigeon lady, if you're hearing this, please send Danielle a pigeon shirt. She needs one.
Why was she wearing a pigeon shirt? Why was she wearing a shirt that had a pigeon on it?
Why not?
I don't know. Felt serendipitous.
I gotta go look that word up. Holy cow. Is that like a sauce you get for your fries? What does that mean?
Yeah, actually it could be.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to just move on from the Wonder Years?
Yeah, let's move on before I get worked up again.
About pigeon.
Flock of Pigeons was good. All right, next.
They're wonderful. Next is Motion City Soundtracked. They were at the stage right next to the Wonder Years, so we just turned to the right.
Yep, ran over
yeah,
to that little corner area.
We watched them play, who I had never seen. I know, of course, the hits. They're also another band that's really good at what they do. I was surprised. I feel like the lead singer, Justin, he's a bit timid, just in like interviews I've seen. Like he's more of like a shy guy. But he's such a good performer, and he's really good with his words. Like he takes his time talking and speaking about what he's going to say. And I just loved his performance. I think I'm a bigger fan after that.
He sounds like a sweetheart of a man.
Yeah.
He said some kind words during his set.
Yes, he did. He had a really sweet message. Yeah, he also made me laugh. It was funny.
Also in the background, we had Lily just trying to open a bag of Doritos. If you guys heard that. So. Thanks, Lily.
His dog toys. What was after Motion City Soundtracked? Hawthorne Heights. Which is funny. Honestly, for We the Kings, the Wonder Years, Motion City Soundtracked, and Hawthorne Heights.
Back to back to
we
back.
were just turning from one stage to the next, like from right to left to right to left. So,
Well, yeah. Then we ran over to the other side and did the same thing with the ghost and beatbox stage.
yeah, which is really convenient. I actually really love that because they don't need time to set up. It's on. It's like about 5 minutes. They just take 5 minutes and everyone walks on and then they play. So yeah, we turned to the left and had Hawthorne Heights, and they were fine.
Just fine, huh?
I mean,
have you ever seen them before?
no, I had never seen
Nothing to
them before.
compare it to, huh?
No.
So if you've never, since you've never seen them before, what you saw, would you watch them again?
Yeah, I think I would.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That was my first impression.
Really?
No, thank you.
Yeah. I think it's hard. Like, they're so iconic, and everyone loves Hawthorne Heights.
I don't know if everyone loves Hawthorne Heights or Ohio is for Lovers.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed watching it this time. People didn't sing along until they closed with Ohio is for Lovers.
It's the only song I knew.
Okay, that's fair.
I knew the other songs, like I had heard them, and so I knew like a lot of the, the choruses, the really catchy parts. But besides that, like the only one I was waiting for was Ohio's for Lovers, and they know that too. That's why they saved it for last.
Yeah.
But his messages were really sweet. I think what he was saying to the crowd was like, if you ever felt lonely, just know that we have two. That's why we write these songs. You should be here on this earth. Like, it was just really sweet. It was a good, like, and he kept saying it.
Yeah, it was a very good message.
Yeah. And that's really, I mean, that in comparison to Buddy from Senses Fail, I don't know what he was saying. He was just going off.
He just rambles for sure. He does say some funny stuff. The last time I saw him when I was in Utah, it was pretty funny.
It's just wild. Yeah, but Hawthorne Heights was good. They're a really good one to add to my list of bands I've seen. So that was fun. Hawthorne Heights. After Hawthorne Heights, we then spent 3 days hiking over to Comeback Kid. That was crazy.
Wandered through the wilderness.
Yeah,
that was a nightmare.
There are so many people on these fairgrounds. Like, trying to get from one spot to the next, you are really trying to squeeze through. Like, we're packed in there like sardines. And luckily, day 2 wasn't really hot, so I was just like, okay, let's go. I don't want to miss the next band. But day 1 was so hot. Everyone you touched, it was just like disgusting. Like, everyone was just so sweaty and ugh.
Yep.
That was tough. But we finally made our way over to Comeback Kid, another iconic band that I don't really know, but nice to add to the list. Really good.
Would you listen to them more?
Fun. Yeah.
I've seen them. Okay.
I think so. Yeah. And then after, not really after, like this wasn't very intentional, but Swaco popped on the other stage while we were waiting for 4 Year Strong. So we watched a bit of Swaco.
Watched the whole thing. We were there the whole time.
Yeah, but I felt like I was blacked out for half of it because I really wasn't paying attention.
That's fine.
I was just sitting there.
Yeah, we needed a break. It was a long day.
Yeah.
Long weekend.
It was a good break. Swaco was funny. I thought he was fine. I mean, he did some crowd surfing on like a wooden platform shaped like a coffin. So that was fun to watch, especially when he was stuck in one spot and people wouldn't move him and he was like, "Get me back to the stage. Get me back to the stage."
Yeah, don't go out there then, okay? You made a good point though about like the person in the middle holding him up just being trapped under there for a long time. That'd be miserable.
Yeah.
I would be shaking the board. Get off, dude.
Yeah, you're
Go
standing
home.
there. It's funny. But I've never seen, honestly, I had never seen another singer of a band do that, like that. I mean, I know they do, but I've never seen it in person.
Now you can check that off your list.
Yeah.
Their Warped Tour bingo card.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know there's this really popular TikTok song that of course, I know it because of TikTok. It's on so many videos. And I didn't know that he sung it. So when he started to sing it, I was like, oh, how do I know this song? And that was why. So that was kind of cool to see live.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see. After Swaco, what did we do? We went to 4 Year Strong.
Took a nap.
Yeah. Which I could use now.
Got as close as possible to 4 Year Strong.
Yes, we did. And we got really close, which I'm so glad we did. They were so good. I've seen 4 Year Strong before a couple times.
Actually, I'm going to interrupt for a second. 4 Year Strong was on the same stage, so we saw Seosin first and then 4 Year Strong.
Oh, they're not on my list.
What'd you think about
We did
Seosin?
see Seosin. So good. They're fantastic. They're such sweet guys. And they were so funny.
Yeah.
They were so funny. There was one part where it was like in between songs and it stopped and there were 2 people still crowd surfing towards the stage. And they were like, what is this, a sacrifice?
Bring me your people.
Is this your offering? I thought that was funny. They had really good commentary too, so they were making me laugh.
I want to give Danielle a little shout out right now because she has taken care of Instagram and a lot of other aspects of the podcast for me. And so today she posted some videos of Warped Tour for us to share some of the things that we saw and witnessed. Maybe I'll put some pictures up there as well. But yeah, today is Tuesday. Should have had an episode out, but I've been having too much fun at Warped Tour to get Mike's episode out. So anyways, yeah, one of the videos that you shared had Seosin in it, and you tagged them in it, and they already liked the post. So whatever you're doing is working to get people to view it. So thank you, Seosin, for looking at our Instagram page.
Thank you.
For the little Friends in Music podcast. But yeah, good for you. That's awesome. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah. Easy tag on Instagram. Glad that worked. Tagged all the other bands, so now I'm just waiting for them. Especially Bowling for Soup.
Yeah, come on, Bowling for Soup.
Yeah.
Where are you at? You want to be our friend?
Would love that. Yeah, that's Seosin. 4 Year Strong.
Now 4 Year Strong.
So good.
Nap Time was good. 4 Year Strong.
So good. I love 4 Year Strong. They put on such a good show. And they also didn't talk much, which is great.
Sort of talk about. Play music.
I know. Just give us the hits.
Yeah, half an hour. Let's hear it.
Only play the songs I know, please. I would love that.
Or you can just learn their songs.
But they played Downfall of Us All. No, that's Day to Remember, right?
Yeah.
My gosh.
Big Ass Truck did do a Downfall
They
of
did.
Us All intro, which was pretty funny.
That was funny. Anyway, 4 Year Strong was great. The crowd was crazy. The crowd was insane.
Let's go.
And they stopped right there and said, just kidding.
Yep.
We're not doing that. Which is funny. The 4 Year Strong crowd was crazy. We were up
Insane.
very close, and we all got pushed together very quickly. Honestly, I don't hate it. It's fun. It's kind of part of it.
It's only okay at concerts.
Yeah.
You get me that experience anywhere else, I will freak out.
Yeah, totally. Especially if you don't see it coming or expect it. But I mean, I think it's funny to like look around and everyone's like, I'm so sorry. But everyone's like, it's fine. That's why we're here. If you can't handle it.
I stepped on someone's foot and I said that and he like looked at me like it was crazy for apologizing, but
Yeah. Can't handle the heat. Get out of the kitchen.
dang, did you just come up with that?
I did.
Should be on a shirt with a
Should
pigeon
use
on
that
it.
More often, yeah. Well, I don't know how to make this more interesting, but I mean, after 4 Year Strong, which was on the left stage, we turned to the right, and we were in the front for 4 Year Strong, so we got to be in the front for Bowling for Soup, who was so good. I had the hard choice of choosing between Pennywise and Bowling for Soup. I had never seen either, and part of me feels like I'd never seen either. When am I ever going to get the chance to see either of them again? Like, I have to choose
I
very
believe
carefully.
Danielle's words were, one of them's probably going to die soon because they're old. I think that's what she said. And I said, choose wisely.
Yeah. They are. Both of them are. I mean, especially Pennywise.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
jeez. Fletcher's going to
Just
come for you.
kidding. I mean, I know Pennywise because of Blink-182 stuff. They talk about him so much. I didn't know Pennywise before that. So, stayed for Bowling for Soup. Don't regret it for a second. They were hilarious. So fun. Knew all the music, knew all the songs. I would do it again, honestly. Especially because we watched the Pennywise performance on YouTube, and it was fantastic, but good. I saw it. I'm glad I was there in person for Bowling for Soup.
Good. I'm glad you made the right choice. I'm glad you had a good time because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Tell me about the Phineas and Ferb experience we had.
Yeah, they brought out the Doofenshmirtz guy, the voice of Doofenshmirtz from the TV show,
He
which
was
was kind
there
of cool.
on stage
That was crazy.
for 30 seconds or whatever. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, he hung out while they played the theme song of Phineas and Ferb. So that was kind of cool.
They had a whole bunch of Perry the Platypus beach balls.
They had Emo Perry on a stick.
That was not a food item. That was,
It's true.
we'll have to get a picture because Emo Perry on a stick sounds like something you can order like
Yeah,
a corn dog or
that's actually
something.
a good point. It was just a poster board. It was like an emo version of Perry the Platypus with like the hair, face piercings, skater hat. It was funny, and it was double-sided, which they were freaking out about,
Yeah.
which was so funny. But those guys are hilarious.
Very funny. Very
Yeah.
good. It's fun.
Yeah. Bowling for Soup. What else happened during Bowling for Soup?
There was no soup though.
Yeah, true. No soup.
They made fun of Pennywise quite a bit, but that was it.
Yeah, that was funny too. I actually really like that about Warped. Like you can look across the way and see another band performing and see what they're up to. And so throughout Bowling for Soups, they would like stop and be like, "Look at Pennywise. What are they doing? He's just talking. They're not even playing music." I thought that was funny. That was good. And then honestly, we made our way over to Simple Plan.
I saw Silverstein after that.
Did you?
Yeah, did you?
I did.
Yeah, that was right after Bowling for Soup.
I did. How did I miss that? We did see Silverstein.
Well, again, that was like the perfect because we just kept going back and forth between these two stages. So we beat stage right or stage left. It was perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were really close for Silverstein. Oh, she's got to put it in her nose right now. Silverstein.
Yeah.
We watched the whole set. We were right there.
Yeah.
Right in the front.
And I know Silverstein, so it was fun. I like them a lot. We saw them at the 2019 Warped Tour with Beartooth.
Silvertooth.
Yeah, they did
One
Silvertooth.
of the few that saw Silvertooth.
Yeah.
Their set.
Hilarious.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's one I really remember. Because is Beartooth even a band anymore?
Yeah, they are.
Interesting.
They put out some new music. They are on tour, I think, right now.
Good to know.
Danielle stopped listening to Beartooth, I take it.
I
Sorry,
guess I
Caleb
did.
Schromo.
I did.
Danielle ain't listening. She ain't interested anymore.
Yeah, Silverstein was fun. And then Simple Plan, right?
Sure. What did you see after Silverstein?
Simple Plan.
Okay, cool. How was it?
Who did you see after Silverstein?
I walked over to Simple Plan. I was just curious what you did.
Okay, yeah. Walked over to Simple Plan. They're fine. Honestly, I don't know what it is, but something about the bigger bands, I don't really want to see them. I don't need to see them. Like, I don't need to see Simple Plan. Don't need to see Avril Lavigne.
Dang.
Which is crazy, because if you listen to my
Shots
first
fired.
episode, that I did with Blair, I was very excited about
I took
Avril
that down.
Lavigne.
People haven't heard it. I removed it.
I was very excited for Avril. I was excited to hear all the hits. But then when we're there, I just feel like I want to go see the smaller bands. It's more exciting. They're more engaged. Like, people are into it. It sounds better. It's not just like a production, which there's something, like, of course I appreciate a production of a big show, but I'd rather see a smaller band. I'd rather see a smaller show. I don't know what that is.
I completely agree with you because I am a small venue person. And so seeing these bands in these huge, I don't want to say arenas, but just open areas, it's so hard to feel like you're part of the experience because there's just so many people. You're so far away.
Yeah.
And so it stinks that a lot of the bands that I like have turned into these, big bands, which is great for them, but it's not the experience that I like. I like seeing bands when they're small. Like, I saw 4 Year Strong, A Day to Remember, Newfound Glory had a 250 capacity venue all at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, with Comeback Kid too.
Wow. That's
All
cool.
4 of them together.
Dang.
Like, any of those guys play a show now,
Yeah.
that small, it's like a private event or something. Like, none of them.
Yeah.
But that was just on a Wednesday where I grew up.
Wow.
And that's what I like. I mean, even up to, theaters that are like 1,000, 1,500 capacity, like those are cool. After that, it's a different experience. It's not as fun.
Yeah. I agree.
So I'm sorry Simple Plan and Avril weren't what you had hoped for.
No, they were great. I don't think they put on a bad performance at all, but it's just my preference. Because I kind of feel like I can watch this on YouTube and get the same experience,
Yeah, if you're far away, for sure.
Hate to say that, and I was far away for both. So that's probably how I felt. And honestly, it was raining. So I was just kind of already like,
Been long days.
yeah, it needs to be worth it for me to be here, like standing in this. And they were good, but Simple Plan, they brought out Travis from We the Kings, the guy from State Champs, Derek, and then who else did they bring
That's
out?
all I remember.
Okay.
They might have brought somebody else out.
It was cool to see them. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't think they'd bring out guests. Yeah, Simple Plan wrapped up. By that point, Angel Dust was about to start. And so you and Christian left to go check out Angel Dust. And I was going to hang out and watch Avril Lavigne, who was just playing on the stage next to where Simple Plan just was. And I was waiting around, and then Avril Lavigne came on. And she played one song. She played one of her, I don't even know what it was. And I hung out, but I was just feeling like, I'm bored. Like, I kind of want to see Angel Dust. I know some of their songs. I would love to see them in person. And so I walked over to Angel Dust and hung out in the back and watched them for a while. And then I popped back over to Avril Lavigne, watched her. And then I went back over to Angel Dust,
Just a little
watched
beach
them.
ball going back and forth.
I really was.
Yeah.
Because I could see Avril Lavigne's screen from Angel Dust, so I kind of knew whether it was a hit or if it was like an old song. And then even when I went back out there to go see what she was up to, she was doing like a 5-minute guitar solo. So I was like, I don't need to be here for this. So I ran back over to Angel Dust, watched them, got to see my favorite.
Got your steps in for the day.
Yeah, got to see the Angel Dust hits that I love. And then after that, we just walked back over to Avril Lavigne. And then...
That one was the biggest surprise for me, that you watched Angel Dust.
Really?
Yeah.
Willingly,
yeah. Christian and I were in the front. Like, so
yeah.
You definitely weren't with us. You were just doing it on your own accord, free will. Good for you.
Yeah, I did. I went and hung out in the back, which is good. It's nice, too, because I don't need to be in the front for that kind of band because they have such a... I mean, the crowd grew with time, but it was still very intimate, especially compared to Avril Lavigne. So it was cool to see them in that kind of setting. And I just hung out in the back. I knew I wasn't going to be able to find you guys anyways because you were up there singing along.
But even like that stage experience, those two smaller stages that had where we saw Koyo, Angel Dust, Carpool, all of them, like that was a good size area.
Yeah.
It never got over full. And if it did, we were already in the front, so it didn't matter. But I'm cool with those stages.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But honestly, even for like Bowling for Soup, we were in the front. And I did not realize how many people were there until we saw pictures.
Yeah, some of these pictures that we've seen, like, oh, how did we get up front for that? Because it just looks like miles and miles of people.
Yeah. Yeah, but when you're up front like that, it feels way more intimate.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe that's the hack. Like, getting up front for these big bands and staying there, and then it feels like more of an intimate show, and then it's more enjoyable and fun. Because, like, Bowling for Soup compared to Simple Plan, I love Bowling for Soup, don't love Simple Plan, but they were two very different experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, that's a good clarification because I realized that I'm like saying opposite of what I was saying about Bowling for Soup, but
so what you're saying is you can admit when you're wrong?
No.
Is that what you're
saying?
Kidding. No? Okay, that's fine. Just clarifying.
No, I'm not.
So who's the better bowler?
It's no. It's not saying that. Not saying that I was wrong, but I am contradicting myself. So.
All right.
Yeah. But happy with all the choices I made. Everything went great. Loved it. I had a wonderful time. I think just out of like needing to fill time, we walked over to Asking Alexandria after. It's this guy with a hood. He's like...
That's the charm. We're done.
Sorry. He's like hiding under a hood singing something in a low voice. He was good. It was fun to see, but...
It was fun. I had a good time.
Good.
Seems like it would have been better than just sticking with Avril. Like,
yes.
I was looking forward to seeing Avril, but yeah, she must have been tired. She had a long Warped Tour weekend as well.
She played one night.
Hey.
She wasn't there.
She was exhausted.
She wasn't even, no.
It's not even her. It's her twin Jessica, her clone or whatever she is.
Clone. The one they've been hiding. No, the one that fills in for her.
So any other bands you want to talk about?
It was cool to see Avril Lavigne bring out her ex-husband.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, but...
The guy from Sum 41.
I'm sad I missed that.
Well, I got it on video.
Well, show me, please.
I will.
Tag him, see if he'll follow the page, too.
I'll show you. Oh, I will.
Not right now.
No, I'm
We're
not.
recording a podcast. People can't see this. She'll share it, though, for you guys.
Closely. Of course I will. No, altogether, I mean, anything else I have to say? I wish that more of the band... I mean, everyone's going to say this. I wish more of the bands that I love were there.
Okay.
But I have no control over that.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Worth the admission?
Totally. Yes. I mean, it was $170 for a 2-day ticket versus when we were young, which is $450 for a 1-day ticket. That's absurd. I mean, they do have Blink-182, so I can justify it a little bit. But I think for Warped Tour, I mean, it's Warped Tour.
Yep.
It was really nostalgic. It was so fun. It was cool to see them, like, stick with so many fun traditions that we know and love. And so I really appreciated that. I think I've seen a lot of takes of people saying like, oh, it could have been better. Didn't like this, but I love that. Or like, I wouldn't do it again. But to be honest, I loved it. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Good.
Even if like there were less bands, I had a great time. It's fun to be outside. It's fun to see all these people like getting along, like the camaraderie in the community is so fun. It feels like summer camp for the bands that are there. And
Summer camp, I like it.
We just get to watch them interact and have fun together. And then all of the guest appearances are unmatched. That's so fun to see.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you have any questions for me?
What's your favorite color?
Chartreuse.
charcuterie board. You hungry?
No.
So, I mean, is there anything else you want to add though? Like you talked about, say, minimal merch.
Wait, I'm just
food.
I'm just kidding. That's not my favorite color. That's not my favorite color. Just give you a different answer.
We're moving past that. I don't care. Yeah. Any more of the experience? I mean, were you mad about getting poop water on you from the white tiles?
No, on the way walking in and out, they put these tiles down that have gross mud water underneath them, and if you shoot on them, if you
shoot on them, what the heck?
if you step on them, water shoots up at your legs.
Yeah.
Into your shoes, which is really unfortunate and annoying. But I mean, if you're careful, it's kind of funny because you'll be walking out with people and everyone's screaming because it's just shooting up at them.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And I will let people know right now when Danielle's talking, I am making faces at her the entire time, so it's really hard for her to focus.
Yeah, it is.
I'm having fun though. This is why we don't record it with video. That is. Oh shoot! I didn't press record.
You lied. Okay, good. Oh my gosh. No, I would do it again though.
Warped Tour or the recording?
All of it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. It was good. It was fun.
Anything else?
I think I've said it was fun 1,000 times
Yeah.
when I mean it. I had a wonderful time.
Good.
I wish I could do it again. I hope they do it again. I hope they bring it back. I would be very happy about that.
Back.
I'll
I mean,
keep
we saw
going.
Kevin Lyman several times. We could have just told him, bring
On
it back.
Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Kevin
The
Lyman.
dad of Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
And the
there.
other guy, whatever his name is. Bill.
No one cares. No one knows.
Whoa,
Just kidding.
whoa. Jeez.
That kid. It was fun. Let me just say that 8 more times.
It was fun. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun.
I'm sad it's over. I'm glad it happened.
Okay. Good. Overall good experience.
Definitely.
Nothing else you want to add?
I'm glad I was there with my wonderful friends.
Oh, jeez. I wasn't fishing for that. All right. Let me tell you about my experience with Warped Tour.
Please, thank you.
If it ended with day one, I would say it was garbage and I would never do it again.
Really?
Honestly.
Wow.
It was miserable.
Really?
Yep.
I am shocked to hear
The
this.
sound was crap.
Yeah.
They did a terrible job. And if I spent my money for that, I would be really mad.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, like, no offense to the sound guys, whatever. I mean, you guys listen to my podcast. I'm not that good at audio. So, I mean, we can all say like, hey, you obviously don't know what you're doing. Yeah. I'm not getting paid to do this. This is a voluntary thing I do with my friends for fun.
Yeah.
Somebody got paid to make it. So I had a good experience listening to it and I couldn't hear anything all day.
Yeah.
They did an awful job. And so day one, I would have been like, never again, guys. Like, you guys don't know what you're doing. You just want to turn up the bass all day. Stupid.
Yeah. It was really unfortunate to like have to find little pockets of where you could really hear it. There's too many people to have to do that.
But the thing is, there's no pocket because there's another stage playing.
Yeah.
So in between quiet time, you hear the other stages because they're turned up all the way.
That's true. Yeah. It's annoying.
I'm annoyed. So I'm going to get all the bad stuff out of the way. It was too crowded.
Yeah.
Doing 3 cities compared to 50 cities like they used to do. So, I mean, all these people migrated and traveled to come out there. Like, I'm glad they did it. Like, I'm really glad it got brought back. But to have 70,000 people in an area where you should only have 20,000 people, there was no room to sit. So people are just sitting in the way, which I'm sure they're like, well, we need a place to sit. Yeah, you should have a place to sit. That's fine. If there's no room against the fence, like, don't just sit in the middle of the group, though.
That's so rude. Yeah.
But, I mean, like, there's no room.
Yeah.
And you're exhausted. Like, you're out in the heat. So, like, I get it. I'm not saying you should do that, but...
I know, but plopping down in the middle of crowds migrating to the other side of the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Come on.
So you take the bands out that I want to see.
Yeah.
I give them 1 out of 10 for the day.
Okay.
Day one was stupid. And anybody else have a different opinion? That's fine. Have your opinion. I'm a grouchy old man. I can say stuff like this now. But the actual old men that were there had the time of their life. So if you want to hear a positive experience, let's find the deadheads that were there because they had a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I had some other things that I kind of like, made notes about, but, cutting Aquabats off. I ranted about that with Christian. That was really rude and inconsiderate of them, especially because they weren't playing anybody else. Parking crew didn't know what was going on when we showed up. They didn't know how to direct people. There wasn't enough security for the amount of people there. And so they were frustrated and they were kind of taking out on some people. There was a lot of good security though. Like they were having a good time. They knew what to expect with a group that large, but in certain spots, like especially the EMTs, they were overworked that day and it came through because they were very frustrated and they were probably hot and exhausted too. But there were some things that were overlooked. And so hopefully they learn and make the next two cities better experience for those guys, because like I said, most people are traveling, so it's not just the ticket. Like I had to pay for a plane ticket out here, and other things. People have to take off work. People do a lot of things. You guys paid for a dog sitter. It's like it's not just the ticket price. Like it's a lot more than that. And so for that money that you spent for the experience we had day one, not worth it. I don't care what. Like if Blink was on stage, I would say the same thing, because I couldn't hear them and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to hear like what they're saying in between, and like the songs, it would just be. I was very much looking forward to seeing Sublime, and sometimes it was like halfway through the song, I'm like, oh, they're playing this, because for a second the bass cut out and you could actually hear what was going on.
Yeah.
So I think, the canned food, I already talked about with Christian. Like that was, I mean, I still say, support, because that's going for a charity. So, you bring your cans, but just don't expect anything in return.
Right.
There's no extra line for you like there used to be. It's just, you just hop in the same line and you wait all day with everybody else.
Can I add to the Aquabats?
No, you can't. You weren't there.
I want to say, I did. I walked up at the end when they got cut off.
You weren't there.
I saw that part.
Poser?
No, I saw that part. I saw they were like ending their last song and they got cut off. And so they were just playing to nothing and they had no idea. And it was so sad.
Yeah, that's really rude.
Broke my heart.
Extremely rude.
Because there were other bands that went over and they didn't cut them off.
I don't care if you're the guys that won the Battle of the Bands, or Pennywise, the guys that have been doing it the entire time.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah.
Really rude.
Yeah, I agree.
You can wait till the end of the song and say, hey, you guys are out of time.
Yeah.
And they're in ear monitors, and they could say, hey guys, sorry. They can at least say goodbye, because they didn't get to say goodbye. They just walked off with their heads down.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
And they're relatively a large group.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them.
So yeah, that was sad. It was like seeing your grandpa like be shut down for something. It's
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
So day one experience, if you want to see these bands, see them somewhere else other than Warped Tour. It's coming from a kid who loves Warped Tour. That like I looked forward all year for that festival before.
Yeah. Did they fix it day 2?
No, it got better, but not fixed it.
Yeah.
And like one thing I had like thought was like, are they just doing their sound based off of what they're hearing on stage? Because I mean, there was sound guys out in the crowd, but instead of doing it like center where you should be, they were like off to the sides. Like, is that issue? But then Christian said, one guy's like, oh, I just turned the bass up all the way. You think you're funny? Like
Right.
all these people spent all day listening to awful sound because
Yeah, it's insane.
you want to make a funny TikTok or whatever you're doing, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it was a dumb experience.
Especially when you can like feel it, like you feel like your whole body's vibrating because the bass. That's not a comfortable feeling.
So anyways, there's my grumpy old man rant.
Mhm.
We'll go to the positives.
Okay.
So the bands were great. Bands did a great job, even though they had so many technical difficulties. They all wanted to be there, and that was really cool. Like Drain really wanted to be there, and the excitement for that. Wonder Years, like, Soupy walked out, and just like you could see emotion came over him. Like he was genuinely like excited or like happy that people took the time to watch his band.
Yeah.
And like that's a band that's been around for a while now. And so to see that in the people's faces was like really cool. There was some nice people like, looking out for each other. One person I saw, I think it was during Silverstein, they had a fan and like a hand fan, and they went up to the security guard and fanned him off for a second. Like
That's
just like
sweet.
there was some good things. And so it's cool to see there's still good people in the world and people looking out for other people, because I witnessed a lot of that, and like I appreciate the good people and like the good things that other people do for each other and supporting each other and like supporting music. People just cheering other people, and like it was a lot of fun. So like the people made it. They're usually the ones that make it concert experience worse for me, but the concert was the bad experience. It was the nice people looking out for each other that really made it a good day for me.
Mhm.
So yeah, first band was Slideways that I saw for the 2025 Warped Tour experience, and they did a great job. I haven't gone and checked them out yet, but I definitely will, and maybe that's what we should do on our album review, because they were good.
Yeah.
And to be put first, like you're the first band for the first Warped Tour back,
Yeah.
that's a lot of pressure. And there was no like pressure that came across from them. They did a really good job. I was really impressed with them.
Mhm.
I definitely recommend checking them out, because they were fun to see live. And then right after that, Origami Angel came out. You weren't excited to see them, but your attitude changed seeing them, because I think of Dylan from Tiny Moving Parts as a musician that I saw for the first time and fell in love with him, because you could tell that he's doing something that he genuinely loves, and he's so happy. And that's what I saw with the guy from Origami Angel was he's playing Warped Tour and he was so excited to be there. And so like that made the experience so much better because not only is his music really good, he had a smile on his face the whole time. And like that was a lot of fun. So another band, if you haven't listened to Origami Angel, like check them out. And it's really funny that you at first like weren't that open or wanting to see them because you're the one that sent them to me.
Really?
Yeah. Your brother and Christian, little Mikey, which he's not little Mikey anymore. He's a full-grown man, which freaks me out every time I see him now. Mikey and Christian listened to him, and you're like, you sent it to me. You sent me Gami Gang. You're like, hey, I think you might like this, which I'm glad you like told me about it because if I would have heard the first 15 seconds of Gami Gang without like knowing how diverse it is, like if you didn't give me the warning, I would have like listened. Like I'm not listening to this weird like techno rap experimental thing,
right?
But it's really good. So yeah, they were awesome. It was fun to see them. And the other thing that I thought about with them was security was not ready yet. They were waking up. They didn't have crowd surfers yet, and a couple of them took place during Origami Angel. So they had to like run over real quick and catch the people because they were just enjoying the music, nodding their head, having a good time. And so they ran over and saved a few people from getting pretty hurt. And then after that, which was again nice, like not having to run to the complete opposite side because I missed a few bands because I was just lazy about I'm not going to the other side because I won't be able to get there.
Yeah.
But so luckily Ska was right on the other stage, and I think their vocalist has one of the best energies right now for any band. So if people haven't listened to Ska, like check them out. And if you don't like their recordings, see something with them live because she goes crazy. Yeah. She is just full of energy and another person that you can tell is enjoying what she does. Last time I saw her a few months ago, she had the Baja Blast color hair, which I think is funny because they have a song that's featured in the Taco Bell commercial. This time, not trying to be mean, she looked like an Oompa Loompa because she had bright green hair and a white shirt on, a white button-up shirt. So I just, in my head, Oompa Loompa Doompa.
Did she have a fake tan that was really orange?
No, she didn't have that. That's the two things. That's my connections, the green hair, the white shirt. But she's adorable, and she's insane, like a great performer.
Yeah.
But a fun band. They were down a guitarist from last time I saw them, but still their sound was very loud, very fun, really good. I'm ranting now. Danielle, do you want to interrupt me for any point of this?
Oh, if you heard my portion, I was ranting the whole time. So keep
going. Is that a no?
No, keep going.
Okay, Drain next. I think we've said everything that we need to say about them, like full of energy as well, like hilarious. Wow. Yeah, and he's funny. Like that's a band that you could tell was so excited Warped Tour was back and that they had the opportunity to be there.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And my sounds that I hear when I listen to Drain, which is interesting because they're a hardcore community, but I hear a lot of metal. I hear Slayer guitar riffs. Like every guitar part I hear reminds me of a Slayer song. And then the way he sings his vocals and style is like Pantera.
Oh, wow.
And these guys are pretty young, and it's like, wow, you guys are listening to your dad's music and making it your own, and it's really good. Mm-hmm. So hopefully I don't scare anybody away from listening to me like, I don't like Slayer or Pantera. It's their own thing. It's just what I hear. It's really good. And then after that, I ran back over to the Scowl stage to see the Aquabats, which you've heard my rants about that. But it's fun for me to see the Aquabats because like that's not necessarily a childhood band, but like teenage band. The first time I saw them, I think I was 15 or 16. And it's just a place where you can forget about trying to be cool or, listening to something that's mainstream or whatever. Like they just sing about whatever. They have a song called Pizza Day. It's the best day of the week. Like it's so fun. Like they bring out all these inflatables for pool party. Like there was like an inflatable pizza and like a unicorn, and like they just make it fun. So like you can just be a kid and not worry about what's going on in the world. Like they're not political. They're just fun.
Mm-hmm. They're so fun.
And they're great musicians.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel really bad that they got cut off. I'm glad I've seen them a couple times, and I'm glad they're still going. I'm glad they're still doing what they're doing, and it seems like they're enjoying life. So I'm happy for them. And it was funny because they did like a hardcore song, which I don't think was theirs, but there was a pretty good circle pit going on for the Aquabats, so that was funny to see. And then I met back up with Christian, saw like the Game of the Fate, And then Let Live was after that. And I tell people all the time that Jason Butler is one of the most insane musicians to watch in person. So if you ever get the chance, Fever 333, Let Live, whatever project he's in, I don't care if you like the music or not, go watch Jason because he is a maniac. Mm-hmm. And at first, he started out kind of soft, kind of laid back. So I'm like looking at Christian, like, is Christian enjoying this? Because like I've put so much build up on this guy, like he better pull through, which I get. Like you can't be an insane maniac for a full set, right?
Yeah. But
he does it. So like, what was going on? Like he's calm. And then they played the song Mother, which is a really good song. It has a lot of meaning and purpose to him. So like, I'm glad they played it. But for Warped Tour, I was like, man, like he's playing like a longer, slow song that they have. But it's cool because he came out and sang with the crowd. So the crowd loved that. Like he was 5 feet away from us singing with people that just got in his face and they're singing along. Dang. And Mike's episode should be out. And so we talk a little bit about Jason, and Mike had the opportunity to be in that music video. So it's fun for me to see that song because like my friend was there. Like he's part of that song to me, even though it's the music video, like my friend's part of that song. Mm-hmm. He knows that guy. Like he's introduced me to that person. So that person was calm though for a little bit. And then he gets back on stage and really quickly his pants were off. It's like the scene from Talladega Nights where he gets out of the car and he's just in his underwear. That was him. He's Ricky Bobby. He was on stage being Ricky Bobby. And it was so funny. Then I'm like, all right, here we go. Now he's going to get crazy. Yeah, he jumped into the drum set, which if I was his drummer, I'd punch him. Don't touch my drum set. Oh, another Will Ferrell reference. Get your hands on my drum set. And then, yeah, somehow he ended up on a tower behind us, which was funny for me because I was like, all right, I see the stage. There's speaker towers on the right and left of the stage. He's climbing one of them. Like I made up my mind. Yeah. I was like, there's no way like he's going to jump off the cab into the drum set because it's too far of a jump. He did jump into the drum set though. And then, yeah, he climbed the tower. We got to find out how tall that thing was. That was high out there.
Yeah, scary.
He's insane.
Yeah.
And how did he get down? Like we should have stuck around. But I don't care. Like we saw something else. But yeah, Jason Butler, great.
I agree. I feel like a lot of people that see them are always thinking like, or at least same. Anytime I see him or I've seen him, I'm like scoping the stage and what's around to see what could he climb. Like what is he going to climb? So to see like him go for something is so funny. He's so passionate. He loves what he does.
Oh, for sure. Very passionate person. Yeah. He's got a lot of opinions. He lets people know what they are. Mm-hmm. Very passionate person. And he took a break from doing music for a while, and I'm glad he's still doing it because that's that man's calling. Definitely. He needs to be performing. He needs to be singing. He needs to be writing his lyrics. Yeah. The world needs him, and the world needs all these musicians that were there. So like, I appreciate that they all take the time, and a lot of them are vulnerable with their lyrics and what they have to say in between songs. And so like, I love and respect that, even if I don't agree with what they have to say. If it's, they have a different opinion than me, like I'm glad that they're passionate and they have the courage to say it in front of a group of people. Yeah. That takes a lot of guts. Anything else about Let Live or Jason Butler?
No, it was cool to see him do, I didn't watch both sets, but he did Fever 333 and then there was like a little break and then he immediately did Let Live. I thought for sure he would do them on different days.
Yeah.
But he did them back to back.
I was surprised, yeah.
Which is hardcore. Of course you got to end on a high.
But I wonder if like they shared some equipment so that made it easier for them, but
oh yeah.
And it wasn't that long of a set, so it's not like, he's played an hour and a half set by himself, so like, yeah, he got a little break in between there. So I'm sure he's like, yeah, it didn't affect me at all, unless he jumped into the drum set for Fever 333. He might be hurt. Somebody should probably check on that man.
Yeah, he ended though. He ended with a bang.
Oh
Literally.
yeah, a big bang. And then after seeing him, I ran over to see Chiodos, which they just did their anniversary tour for All's Well That Ends Well album, and I wanted to see that. I was in Utah at the time when it came through. It was like a rescheduled thing, so I wasn't even going to be there, but they rescheduled it. They're playing with Hawthorne Heights. I was like, man, like, how cool would that be to see? But I ended up going to the U's that night for their second night of their tour and saw In Love and Death, the whole album. And that was really cool and it was really good. I got to go with a family member, so like that was nice. But I was bummed that I missed Chiodos. Yeah. But like I would have gone by myself to that show because either my friends were working or like Tyler was flying a plane, like doing his thing. So bummed that I missed it, but very much looking forward to seeing them at Warped Tour. They did not do the same set. They mixed in a whole bunch of songs, which is good. But yeah, I couldn't hear half of it. So yeah, bummer.
Do you think if Chiodos hadn't been playing at Warped Tour, would you have still gone in Utah and missed the Used, or would you still choose the Used?
to be with my family member, I would have gone to the Used.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
But if it was me solo, I would have gone to Chiodos.
Yeah.
Because I had seen the Used. I've seen the Used at least 3 other times, if not more.
Yeah. And they're older. I think Chiodos is going to come back around a couple times. So.
Anybody over 20 is old to Danielle.
No. Including myself? No.
So yeah, Cheeto's good. Just couldn't hear half of it, so not the best experience. They're on the biggest stage there, so yeah. Of course, the bass was maxed out, and that's what I heard and felt. And then, like you said, we got a little bit of food, sat down for state champs, and I completely agree with you. If I hadn't seen them, I would have pushed my way or like found a way to find a spot to see them. But it was nice just to sit down and hear some songs that I haven't heard for a while. They're a great band. They're cool guys. A lot of fun. More on the poppy version of pop punk, but still like they came from a good pop punk demographic. I don't know what you're supposed to say, but like time.
Yeah.
And so it's cool that they're still relevant and around, and they got to play Warped again.
Yeah,
good for them.
They feel nostalgic to me, so it's cool that they're on Warped.
And it's funny because again, like that seems like still like a very new band to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been around for a while now.
Yeah.
Getting old, boys.
People love them.
And then Big Ass Truck. Yeah, that was crazy. I had only heard like one of their songs before, and I was like, "Whoa, this is a heavy band." Like, not my thing. But seeing them was a lot of fun, and that's the nice thing about giving somebody a shot at a concert, because you learn to like enjoy like what they're doing or see who they are. Because like sometimes you're like, "Oh, this person takes themselves way too seriously. Like, I can't listen to this music because they think they're cool." But Big Ass Truck, great musicians, seem like cool dudes.
They're funny.
Yeah, and like holy cow, they put on a good show and they had a good crowd, so I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
Then I saw a little bit of 303 with you, which was kind of funny. And then I made sure I got a good spot at Sublime. I was there for it. I really liked that Fletcher from Pennywise came on for the last song with Sublime, and like he made a point to let the crowd know how historical of a moment that was, that Sublime played, one of the first Warped Tours, and then 30 years later, Bradley's son is now singing for the band, playing Warped Tour again. Like, I think most people knew that. It sounds like Jesse didn't, because Jesse didn't want to watch Sublime because he didn't like their previous singer. But yeah, seeing the original vocalist's son come up and play and like sound very similar, like he can sound like his dad or he can sound like himself. And he came out with a shirt on that says I eat ass, and had the biggest smile on his face. And that smile never went away. Again, another person that's happy to be doing what he's doing. I do really regret that I didn't see Jacob's Castle or his acoustic set. But I did get to see Sublime. I only heard a small part of it, but the band did great. It was cool to see them. He brought up a few of his friends to play. He had one of his friends that is in a band. He sang Badfish, and that kid did a phenomenal job.
Wow.
Like, you can tell he's a Sublime fan. And he brought up a guitarist, which you and I ran into at one point. So it was cool to see him, like just a fun, like you were saying, like they can just bring people up because people are there.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see them.
I have a clarifying question real quick. Is the singer that son that was singing for Sublime, is he Jacob's Castle?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's his band.
That's cool. Okay.
And so he was doing that, and I'm glad he's kept doing it, because it's definitely his project. It's, I'm sure, like what he wants to be doing, and it's cool.
It's really
so
cool.
If you haven't checked him out, check him out.
Yeah. It seems like he just
It's not Sublime.
loves it. Okay, good.
It's its own thing.
That's good.
That's cool. And then after that, ran over, met with you guys. Right, you were there at Silly Goose already with Christian?
No, I think I did not.
You're a Silly
see
Goose
Silly
for mixing it.
I stayed for the cartel.
The Cartel.
Stayed back for the cartel.
But yeah, Silly Goose.
It's cartel. I say the cartel because it's funny.
Because it is funny, yeah. Silly Goose caught my attention because of their band name. I think they came up on Spotify one day. I was like, that is an amazing band name. And I turned them on, and it sounded like Limp Bizkit and Korn had a baby. And I was like, what in the world is this? And I kept listening, and I was very intrigued, and then got to see them at Warped. And so,
That's
yeah,
cool.
very much a new metal band. So it's cool. It's fun. They did a really good job. Great musicians. They had a fun time. They killed it.
Limp Bizkit and Korn is funny. Where does Limp Bizkit come from? Like, do they rap like he does? I never heard.
Well, Limp Bizkit's like a new metal band, so he's got that same sound.
Got it. Yeah. Interesting. I'll check him out.
I mean, some of the vocals sounds like something that like Limp Bizkit would say, like in break stuff or something like that.
Okay, that's cool. That's fun.
We'll listen to them here in a second because they're good. And then right on the other smaller stage that was over there was Koyo, which you and Christian have seen him 3 times in the last year. I've had the chance to see him 4 times now. We almost saw him for the 5th time the other night because they were playing a show here the day after Warped Tour. But they killed it. They were fun to see. The crowd was fun. We were in front the whole time. They're a good band. Like that's like one of my favorite new bands is Koyo. Like cool guys, great music.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in other bands or have been in other bands, so they know what they're doing. Great musicians, and I like them.
I couldn't agree more.
Check them out.
They're really sweet too. They seem to be just so grateful and happy to be doing what they're doing. I love them.
Yeah, definitely. And then going back to the other small stage that was right there, Scary Kids Scaring Kids. That was fun.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them since, I can tell you the exact date, my graduation date. I haven't seen them since 2008 in May.
Wow.
That's a huge gap.
2008. Just kidding.
Yeah. Again, I'm over 20, so I'm old in Danielle's eyes.
Please.
So yeah, a little bit of a different lineup change. They did a great job. It's cool to see, but again, sound wasn't right, and we were, not in the back. We weren't in the very front. Like we were pretty close to the front, but so I didn't get to hear all of it and experience it the way you should be able to experience live music. But after that, we saw a little bit of MGK. Waited for Andrea to crawl her way out from the very front because she was there all day ready for MGK. And so I do like and respect and appreciate MGK. Some people dog on him or hate him because he doesn't stick to a genre, but it's funny because the biggest artist in the world that anybody can name is Taylor Swift, and I think people have said the same thing about her, but look where she's at now. Mm-hmm. Everybody's accepted that. So I have a very specific genre that I like, and everybody that knows me knows that, but I do think it's cool when people can do their own thing and experiment, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. MGK was first brought to me by my friend Mary. She sent me the cover that he did of Swing Life Away, which I was like, oh, I love Rise Against. Like, that's a good cover. And then I clicked on another song of his, and he quoted What's My Age Again by Blink. So I was like, this rapper kid is playing rap, but he's inspired by my favorite bands. And so he's always been on my radar. I've always kind of kept an eye on him. And then he collaborated with Travis Barker. He's produced by him, and Travis Barker's on his album. So, of course, I'm going to listen to that. And I thought it was good. So, yeah, talking with Christian earlier, it sounds like we're saying like a new wave of pop punk's out because of him, and like the Travis Barker bands. I mean, there's a lot of them, but like Kenny Hoople's another one that I really like. And, yeah, they have similar sound. But, yeah, MGK can do whatever he wants. Doesn't mean anybody has to like it. But it seems like a lot of people, I mean, he played for almost 3 hours at the close of Warped Tour, and I think he did an after party show, which I'm sure he was insane too. So
yeah,
it was cool just to see, like, we didn't get up there, we just sat down, but hear some of his songs. Another person, he seems like a good guy. Like, I think he gets a lot of hate, and I know he tried to start beef with Eminem. I don't know what that's all about. That's
publicity stunt.
Yeah, that's out of my interest of, I don't care what people are doing in their own lives. Like, I just want to hear the music.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. Everyone was talking about it. Something to add about MGK, when I was like leaving Scary Kids to get drinks and go to the bathroom and whatnot, he was like saying a lot, giving a lot of commentary, but he was so grateful to be there.
Yeah. And
like you said, he had started early and then he ended, I think, way later than he was supposed to, but he just kept going and going, which, I mean, there was another headliner who started right on time and ended right on time, and the commentary was just nothing.
Boring.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see that because, yeah, MGK is pretty big. I think he's a household name for a lot of people at this point. And so just to see him so, like, involved. And he was even at his fan tent, like the tent for his fans that the merch people send them to. He was there, like, talking to people and hanging out with them, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's nice of him.
Yeah.
For sure. And then anybody that's seen Transformers and like that scene when Megan Fox opened Bumblebee's hood. Yep. He got to experience that many times, so good for him. The other thing, though, like, I saw something recently that he, like, schedules his tours around his daughter's volleyball games.
Oh,
what a sweetheart.
That's precious.
He's at her games. Like, there's a video I saw somebody posted of him, like, cheering her on, being there, and, like, somebody interviewed him after about, like, why do you do all this? And he's like, my daughter's the most important person. Like, I treat her with respect, so she's setting her standards high for the guys that she's gonna date because they don't open the door or tell her she's beautiful. Like that's the bare minimum. Like she's already used to that. So he's a family man too. Like I respect that. I'm sure. I really don't know anything about the guy other than Megan Fox. He's got a daughter. Like I didn't know that till recently, but
Yeah.
I'm sure people can say, well, Blair, did you know this about him? Yeah, I don't. I didn't.
Yeah.
I just listen to the music for the most part. I mean, Blink-182, yeah, I can tell you all the fun facts about them. That's what I obsess about. But seems like a cool, good guy.
Yeah.
Dog on him all you want. You don't have to listen to him. Same with all these other bands we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Mm.
If you want to experience some new music, check them out. I would recommend the other bands that I said, you know, we haven't talked about Carpool yet, but Carpool and Slideways, like check them out. Koyo, give them a shot for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve it. And so yeah, my ending note was decent day overall, terrible sound,
Yeah.
unimpressed.
Yeah.
I went home, back to your house, pretty annoyed with. I came out here for this. I mean, coming out here to hang out with you guys, totally worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But coming out here for Warped Tour, I mean, yeah, the bar was really high for all of us.
Definitely. I mean, it's Warped Tour. The sound is bare minimum. You got to get that down.
Yeah, and I don't know if these guys haven't done festivals. I mean, because it was big.
Yeah.
This was a big event, and I've never been to a festival that big. I've been to Warped Tour before, where it's probably like 10,000 people. That's the only thing, and it was one day, and those guys had it down. Like I know there's documentaries about the guys setting up, tearing out every day, and they didn't mess up.
Yeah.
So I know some of those guys got brought back. I mean, we saw one of them, one of those old guys, the guy that looks like his Crocodile Dundee. He was there. He's killing it. So he should probably be put in charge because he probably knows what's going on.
Definitely.
But yeah, it was good to see the bands. Kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Definitely. I agree.
You gonna fight me on that? You gonna argue me?
No, I agree. I think I was a little, I don't know, going into it, I kind of felt like, oh, is this just how it is? It's annoying to feel like the bass so much in your bones, but yeah, I mean, the second day in comparison, it was a huge difference to me. I think I definitely still experienced it, but the second day I felt like way more comfortable because, I mean, I didn't have my earplugs for the first day. I didn't really think I needed them, but then the bass happened. I was like, whoa, okay.
I'm surprised your ears still work.
It was a lot. They were ringing that night. So I do agree. That was frustrating. Didn't ruin it for me.
Well, during Seosin, you gave your additional earplugs to the girl in front of us that was just covering her ears because she was miserable. So that was nice of you.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, of course.
She needed them.
So can I go to day 2 now?
Please, yeah.
My note was sounds better, still too much bass.
Okay.
And it just depended on the band that day. But saw Carpool first. Their vocals were more screamy in person, I thought.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It was good.
Yeah.
So I just said it a second ago, but check them out if you haven't checked them out. They started the day. They drew a crowd because people were walking and needed to find somebody to watch. And so they started out with 10 people, but they got a lot of people over there because they're good. They're fun.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to listen to them more.
Very catchy. I think I honestly, kind of genius. They're very strategically placed next to the inflatable schedule. So that's good for them.
Yeah. You look at me like
right?
that.
Weren't they?
I mean, it's like around the corner, but it's not that far.
But you can hear them perfectly.
Yeah, for sure.
Something to do.
And then, yeah, I saw Urethane, which for me was funny because I'm like looking at this dude in the crowd to the left of me. Like I see he's got a Descendants tattoo, and I'm like, this guy looks familiar. And then a swarm of people come take pictures with him for a minute, and then he goes back to enjoying the music. Then I'm looking on the stage, I'm like, that guy looks familiar. That guy looks familiar. I'm like, these are all guys from skate videos that I've seen back when I was 12. So it's really cool.
That's awesome.
To see that group of guys, and I had never listened to Urethane before, but wow, they were good. And that's funny because I mean, how they slipped through the cracks for me.
Yeah, they seem to know what they were doing. Like
they're
professionals.
I mean, they're good. They've been around for a long time. So if you haven't heard of Urethane, check them out too.
Yeah,
because nobody told me for some reason. And then I ran over to Heart Attack Man, which is a band I've been looking forward to. Talked about them with Christian, but they were fun. They were good. I don't know, like the crowd seemed to really go crazy and enjoy them. They had a pretty decent sized crowd. They were playing on a big stage, so
yeah,
I'm glad I finally got to see them.
Definitely.
I'd watch them again. And then saw the end of We the Kings with you. Then we saw the Wonder Years. Wonder Years has been around a long time, and I don't think I relate to their new music at all on any level, but for a long time they were one of my favorites, and I've seen them multiple times. I really like them. I like that they do their Halloween concerts where they pick a band and dress like them and play cover songs. They did Limp Bizkit one year, they did Blink one year. Like, they're funny, they're cool guys. It was cool to drive around Philly the other day to see what they're singing about the South Philly basement. I need to go back to Philly because there's a lot more to see and do, but
Yeah.
it's cool being in places where I'm like, oh, this band's from here, and like listening to the music while I'm there driving around and seeing what they're talking about in their songs. So happy we saw them. I had to make a choice between between seeing, was it them?
Yeah.
No, Hawthorne Heights. Because Hawthorne Heights are 408, which I stayed for Hawthorne Heights after seeing Motion City soundtrack, just because we were there and like getting around was crazy. But I wish I would have gone and saw a different band, check somebody else out. I think 408 was playing at the time. They deserved to be checked out. Because yeah, Hawthorne Heights was, I don't know if, overwhelming, underwhelming, or just whelming. So they're either whelming or underwhelming. I do like agree with you what you're saying about the things that he said were very nice. He repeated himself a lot, and again, for all him at a small time, like maybe he knew somebody there that needed to hear that. But he talked for quite a bit, and I'm like, you got to play a couple songs, dude. And maybe because they feel like they don't have very many songs to play, but they have like 15 albums. They have so many songs.
Yeah.
And they've taken so much time to write them. Like, they should have played them more, but they had a backing track, so that's probably something that bothered me about them. But yeah, just I was let down.
You don't like a backing track?
Moving on. No, I don't like a backing track. I come from punk roots. If you can't play it live, don't put it in your music.
That's fair.
Yeah, and they did, and it was annoying. I mean, like, those like funny intros or whatever you can use, but to make something part of your sound and you can't play it. Like, I mean, I've seen All Time Low so many times, and I've seen like where they'll bring somebody else on stage with them to play guitar or other parts. Like Census Fail's done it once.
Yeah.
I respect that. You can have as many musicians as you want. Just play it live, play it real, or like have like a little sample. Like Citizen has that song In the Middle of It All, in the middle. So like he puts that on a little drum machine and hits it.
That's cool.
So there's some type of musicianship going on there, right? So that's my little random rant. Maybe I'll go more into depth with that later on. But one thing I want to say too is I was really looking forward to Hawthorne Heights because I haven't seen them for a long time. Last time I saw them was in like 2006 or 7, whatever, when I saw them open up for Fall Out Boy with Cassie and Coco. And I had tickets for Hawthorne Heights. They were playing in Idaho Falls when I was going to school in Rexburg. And I was like, I got to get tickets. Like, people don't come play Idaho Falls. Like, the only other band that did it at the time was The Used and Taking Back Sunday. And so Hawthorne Heights was coming, and Bubba Sparks was coming the same week. And so Andrea and I talked about going to see Bubba Sparks, but I had Hawthorne Heights tickets, but apparently my appendix didn't want to work anymore, so it exploded, and so I was in the hospital. So
Oh no.
I missed Hawthorne Heights because I was in the hospital. So I haven't seen them since then. Like I said, they've played with other bands, but I haven't been to those shows. They've put out a ton of good music, a lot of albums. I mean, but yeah, like, I'm an early 2000s little emo boy at heart, I guess. So Nikki FM and Saying Sorry and Ohio's for Lovers. Like, and they played those songs, but it just wasn't there that day. Maybe it was me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, saw Motion City soundtrack before that. Phenomenal. After Hawthorne Heights, like you said, we fought through the crowd. Holy cow, we fought through the crowd to get over to Comeback Kid. So yeah, luckily we found a place just to sit, hang out, get some beverages, and just enjoy Comeback Kid. And then Swaco, which I don't have anything nice to say, so maybe I just won't say anything at all. I mean, like, I know he's big on the internet. That's not me though. Like, I'm not into music that people just want to be seen. So it seems like that's what he's going for. But I did see clips of him before, and I was like, oh, he's got some good songs. But I said I wasn't going to say anything. And I'm saying something. He's just all over the place, which, like I was saying with MGK, is cool, but I don't get it. I guess maybe I'm just too old and grumpy. I don't get it.
Well, he was asking for a wall of death during like a very mellow song.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
But good for him. He's playing on a big stage. People like it.
Yeah.
You guys can have it. Not for me.
People loved it.
But the musicians he played with were really good.
Yeah.
And I know, like, he's probably worked really hard to get where he's at, so good for him.
He looked like he was having the time of his life, so yeah.
Yeah, he was. I don't think he's probably ever played in a group that big, so I'm sure that was a blast for him.
Yeah.
And then I had never seen Seosin before, and they were next, so I'm glad we were up front for them. They didn't play my favorite song of theirs, but probably because I don't have the best taste in music.
Mm.
But all the songs they played were really good. It's funny seeing them sing You're Not Alone, because I got into Seosin because that song was like on Fuse and MTV and stuff, and I made fun of it, which Marissa's called me out for making fun of Jamie all over, because some songs are just like, you know them, but they're just funny.
Yeah.
And like You're Not Alone, the music video was like black and white. Like, I don't know what was going on with that. Super emo, which at the time, you know, I would not have told anybody I was emo because they got made fun of. And so that song came on, it was big, everybody knew it. And I'm not going to sing right now, but it's so fun just to sing sarcastically too. And then there was this kid, Frederick, that I was in high school with. He was a year younger than me. We both played drums. And this kid is a phenomenal drummer. He's way better at drums than I'll ever be. I mean, I was like, 15-year-old, whatever he was at the time. So we were talking about favorite drummers, and I, of course, said Travis Barker. And I was like, what's yours? And he told me the name. And I was like, I don't know who that is. And he's like, he plays for Seosin. I was like, the You're Not Alone guy? And he's like, yeah, dude. I'm like, they have a good drummer. And so he told me a few songs to go look up. He's like, watch them live, though. And I watched them live. Holy cow, that drummer hits hard. He plays with emotion. He has great beats. And so that's when I like accepted their music and like went through and listened to it. So I'm glad to have that conversation with them. And then, I've listened to them. I mean, like never got like super big into them, but they have some really good songs. They've gone back and forth with their vocalist, but yeah, like the guys that have stayed there are really good, really funny. Like you said, they like doing what they're doing. So it's really cool to finally see them. And we had a pretty good spot for them.
Yeah.
And then,
wait, Blair,
moving on.
People want
Moving on.
to know.
Moving on.
What is your favorite Seosin song?
Changing.
Okay.
You ever heard of it?
Thank you.
Can you sing it for me?
You're not alone. No.
And then, yeah, one of my favorite bands, 4 Years Strong, which I need to do a tally for how many times I've seen them. And you and I need to do the tally for how many concerts we've been to, because I think it was 21. So now this is 22, probably.
Is Warped Tour one concert?
Well, it was 2 days, but still one concert. And we've been to one other Warped Tour before.
I guess there's a difference between counting how many bands we've seen versus how many shows we've been to. So
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Well, bands we've seen, but and then there's going to be tally marks how many times we've seen them together. But
Yeah.
we did talk about that before a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 Years Strong was after that. I mean, if I can tell somebody to go see like a live band, I don't care what kind of genre you like, 4 Years Strong would be on the top of that list of like great performers.
Oh yeah.
They're intense, they're fun, nice guys, but when you put them on stage, like they play with passion, they hit hard, their drummer's phenomenal, they're cool dudes.
I couldn't agree more.
I love 4 Years Strong.
They're so good.
And then Bowling for Soup, which, like we said, we had to choose between Pennywise. Luckily for me, the decision was a little bit easier because I had seen Pennywise, I think, in 2008 Warped Tour. And it was funny because Rick Thorne came up and sang Bro Hymn with them. She's a professional BMX, so that was really cool for me to see. But yeah, Bowling for Soup got to play. I've never seen them. They've been on my list for a really long time. They got big when I was in high school. So fun band, kind of like the Aquabats fun band, but the pop punk version of that. But I mean, they have funny songs, they have good songs, cool dudes.
Yeah.
It was really good to see them.
They seem really, again, like good guys. Yeah.
And then we just went, shuffled back to our left a little bit, saw Silverstein, which immediately I was disappointed because Tour Beard wasn't there. Josh, whatever his name is, his Instagram is Tour Beard. And just one of my favorite musicians to see. He plays with a smile. He strums his guitar super hard. He goes heavy, but he has a smile all the time. At one point, he had a mustache, and it just made him look like Mario, like a super sweetheart Mario, but like cool guy. Apparently, he broke his arm, so he wasn't there. So Shane played guitar a couple times, but they had a backing track. So kind of annoying. But my new takeaway, because this is at least my fourth time seeing Silverstein, my takeaway from this was their guitarist that does backing vocals. He got more of an opportunity to sing. He's a phenomenal singer.
Yeah.
And he did a really good job live.
He did.
There was no bass during that part, so we actually got to hear his vocals.
Right.
He's a great vocalist. Like if something ever happens to Shane, he's not the lead vocalist. That guy can just step up and kill it. I don't know if he can like, get the aggressive, growly, screamy vocals, but wow. So that was my really big takeaway from Silverstein was his vocals were great. And then I think that was the band that we saw when the music stopped. There's a girl still crowd surfing, getting pushed to the front. And she's like, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry, everybody. This is really awkward and uncomfortable. That made me laugh so hard. But yeah, we were packed because they came on. We had a little bit of room. We were in the front. They came on and the pit started. So everybody got pushed really close and tight into us, which stunk because I think that's the most crowd surfers we've ever had.
Yeah.
Throwing the most people I've ever thrown was during Heart Attack Man. People just kept running up to me, throw me up there, throw me up there. But during Silverstein was the most crowd surfers that came over us, which we were to the side. And so the people are coming on the other side. They're coming down the middle. Holy cow, it was like nonstop. This person, this person, this person.
It's overwhelming. Yeah, just trying to.
My back hurts.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Help carry these people across the.
Yeah.
Yeah, wave of people.
Tons of people. Holy cow. But yeah, most crowd surfers I've ever had to assist. And then.
Well, thank goodness you were there, or else I would have definitely gotten kicked in the head. So thank you.
You're welcome. And what I do like is they kind of worked backwards from playing their new songs to their old songs, so that was cool. Like they didn't talk a whole lot, did they?
No, they didn't.
I'd say Shane's got a podcast, so I know that boy can talk. But
we know.
Yeah, he's got his platform for that, so it's good. Like he just played the music, which was really cool.
Yeah.
He told us why the other guy wasn't there, and then they ripped through the songs.
Yeah,
and they were good.
Definitely.
Like they're still a really good band. Saw Simple Plan after that. It's just for a few minutes. Left to go see Drug Church, which I'd only heard maybe 2 of their songs, which they're good, but there's just so much music out there. It's so hard. But I'm really excited to go back and look and check them out because they killed it. They're great musicians. What I saw live wasn't what I heard.
Okay.
The recording, so there's more emotion to their music than I realized. There's more melody. And so it was good. It was really cool. We met a friend right before that, and so she was going crazy. Holy cow, she was going nuts. But yeah, the rest of the crowd was going crazy too, because why not? They're a great band.
Yeah.
How could you not go crazy to that?
Right.
After that, saw a little bit of Avril, which you guys have kind of talked about how disappointing she was. I made the choice to not see her, to go see Drug Church, but sounds like I kind of made the better decision. I'm sad that I missed Derek on stage with her. So we decided instead of finishing Avril, what?
I think you're meaning Angel Dust.
What did I say?
Drug Church.
Angel Dust. I'd mix them up.
Easy.
I apologize, everybody. Angel Dust. Excuse me. I even messed it up with Christian's podcast. It's funny.
It's the cartel, so it's okay.
Well, so I get some bands mixed up because I discovered them at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it's because Angel and Church, similar spiritual words.
Yeah, right.
But another 2 that I always get mixed up, and these bands aren't even the same, is Saves the Day and The Starting Line.
Oh, interesting.
Because somebody gave me their CD the same day, and they both have S names. And so for the longest time, when I was like in high school, I'd get them mixed up and people like, "This is not even the same band." Like, what do you? But I found it at the same time, so it's in my head as the same.
It makes sense.
There's another one too that I discovered at the same time that I was always mixing up. I'll remember later and tell you, but yeah. Sorry, everybody. I don't know what I'm talking about. And then, so yeah, we decided to leave Avril and go see Asking Alexandria, which is funny because when did they start? I've never heard one of their songs.
Yeah, same.
Until seeing them the other night, which they had a good crowd.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun to see them, but they did a good job. So I gotta check out some of their songs.
Yeah, he's very talented.
So yeah, overall it was a better day. Sound was a little bit better. We got soaked. Luckily, the first part of the day was just cool, so it was nice. Mm-hmm. It like sprinkled on and off, but it didn't really rain till later on in the day. And yeah, it cooled off quite a bit, but got to hear more of the music, so that was good. My back was freaking aching. I should look back and see how many steps we had and how many workouts I got done because of throwing people all day.
For real.
Yeah, leaving, getting splashed from the white tiles was a nightmare. It was disgusting. Apparently that's online. It's pretty big. People are in an uproar about that. So just so everybody knows, we made it. We're good. We survived that. I do think it was cool to see RFK Stadium as like our backdrop all day. This old stadium just falling apart. Like there's spots where concrete's visibly missing,
Right. It's like abandoned.
so it's like decrepit and falling apart. Like that was a cool backdrop.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
It was kind of like something you'd see like in a video game where like you expect zombies to run out of there.
Yeah. Scary.
But yeah, both days we hit up Taco Bell, which this episode is not brought to you by Taco Bell, but it should be
Someday.
because I've paid some CEO's salary for sure.
Yeah.
I've been there a ton. And I do want to say one more thing. Is that okay, Danielle?
Let's hear it. Yeah.
With you? I did make my list of bands I missed to go see. So I missed Knuckle Puck to see Heart Attack Man.
Sad.
Worth it.
Okay, good. Good.
Missed Jacob's Castle to see the Wonder Years. I didn't have the best Wonder Years experience. I don't.
Is it just because of the...
No. I don't know. You guys really liked it. I had a different experience, I guess. Maybe it was my mindset. We'll just blame it on that. My mindset wasn't there. But yeah, I mean, I said before I wanted to see Jacob's Castle, so I guess I'm just mad at myself because I wanted to use this as an opportunity to see new bands, which I've seen the Wonder Years. But like I said, they used to mean a lot to me. So, and we were there.
And we were in the front.
Yeah. Missed 408 for Hawthorne Heights. Not worth it. I
Yeah.
made the wrong choice. Miss Pennywise for Bowling for Soup, definitely worth it. Miss Point North for Silverstein. I was kind of, on the fence, like, oh, maybe I should have. Like, I only know a few of their songs, but again, just want to check out new bands while I have the opportunity. But we were there. Like, we keep using the excuse we were there in the front. We had a great spot. But yeah, Christian said that whatever they were doing didn't come across that well. So I guess I made the right choice.
Okay.
And then Angel Dust for Avril, not Drug Church. Angel Dust. Again, sorry for the confusion. Worth it for sure.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Well, okay. I wonder... Here's my mindset about... you're sad about missing Jacob's Castle. Those are different. But, like, if you're missing a small band to see a big band, I feel like for me... See, I'm contradicting myself because I would rather see the smaller band. But at the same time, if you're going to go see Hawthorne Heights by themselves, you're probably going to pay more than you would for Point North.
Yeah.
Who could be opening for someone.
Get you looking value bargain shopping right now.
Headlining smaller band. Headlining like on a bill with other small bands, So are you going to go to Hawthorne Heights? Who could be opening for Dashboard Confessional? I don't know. Or
do you know about a tour that's coming out?
Gonna go see.
Do you just leak some?
No, but I know you wouldn't want to spend $120 on that ticket versus $30 on Point North, who you could see later with other bands you love.
Maybe. Maybe because I didn't participate, their viewership wasn't high enough, or they're not going to go on tour anymore.
Sad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you missed Jacob's Castle.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. I hope he comes back around.
I do think it's cool that he had the opportunity to play 3 sets.
Yeah.
And that he played with a big band. I don't know what the crowd was like. Maybe we should see if there's a picture of it. But I hope he got some carryover people from Sublime going like, oh, that's that guy. Let's go check him out.
Yeah.
Like he deserves it for sure because he's a great musician.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Have you seen the TV show Community?
Yes.
Have you seen the old guy on there that does his reviews?
No.
He'll do reviews of potato chips and stuff, and he'll say it's a buy or it's not a buy.
No.
Tell me. Warped Tour, was it a buy?
Definitely.
Okay.
I would do it again. I don't know, Blair. It sounds like to you it's not a buy.
I got to think about it. I'll get back to you.
Okay. I honestly think, here's the thing. They're coming back. Like, this feels like a trial run. Feels like they're figuring things out.
Oh, it's a trial run for sure.
I know.
They messed up.
I know. It feels like they're figuring
Beta.
things out. But they got good bands.
They got great bands.
For like this first time back, it's their 30th year anniversary. They have really like a phenomenal lineup, honestly. Like, yeah, I missed some, but it was really great. But for first year back, I'm really happy with it. I hope they keep doing it yearly and then they get it down. They get a good crew for the sound, figure things out as they go like city to city. But I don't know. I'm optimistic that it can get back to what it was.
I'm just going to say this. Not my Warped Tour.
Sure.
Not what I
That's fair.
remember. And things change. So I guess there's some psychological issues I have with the change. And so If you're a psychiatrist, you can come help me with that. I obviously need it.
Blair, this is also, you have so much more energy when you're 10 years ago. I think that makes a difference too. For me, it does.
Yeah.
I was dead by the end of day one.
I'm still dead.
Yeah, still recovering for sure. And tomorrow's Wednesday.
I don't even know where I'm at or what day it is. To be honest with you, I'm getting on a plane first thing in the morning.
Yeah. But do you think it was worth it? Are you glad you went?
I'll get back to you.
Come on.
No, I'm serious. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Well, the people will want an update.
I've said my opinions. People can probably come up with their own conclusion. I'll let you have that.
Okay.
Amen.
Amen.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.